What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapache, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for stopping by on this lovely, here in Vegas, extremely windy Sunday evening. As you guys know, I do work Sunday mornings now, so we have to kind of record the show a little bit later on in the evening, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. We appreciate you guys' patience. We were going to record the way we normally do on Wednesday evening / afternoon, but unfortunately, schedules kind of got in the way, and we weren't able to get crack-a-lackin'. And if you guys remember, when a few weeks ago, but actually I should say December, close buddy, a close friend of mine, childhood friend of mine, retired from the military, and he's in town. So it's like, oh shit, I'm like seeing him as much as I can because he's gonna go on do stuff with his family, right? Not that he's retired and gonna go on and stuff like that. So I wasn't able to do anything other than my originally scheduled Wednesday, but unfortunately schedules kind of got in the way. So we appreciate you guys sticking by us, and stopping by, of course, today. Everything else should be back to normal, of course. We will get everything crack-a-lacking because there's plenty to talk about. Sometimes, when we skip out on Wednesday show, things happen, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff outside of the boxing world, as you guys already know. War is going crack-a-lacking, but what we like to do is give you guys a bit of a distraction. We like to make you guys laugh, and hopefully you guys tune in to hear us crack jokes and do our thing in the world of boxing to get your mind off of all the stuff that's going on right now outside in the real world, I guess we can call it. So we're going to take a look at a lot of things. Here we go. First and foremost, last night we had some boxing on the zone. Emanuel Navarrete taking on Sugar Nunez in a pretty killer fight. Didn't turn out to be that way towards the end, right? It ended up being kind of one-sided towards the end, but actually, for the most part, I should say for the most part, it's one-sided. But it was a fun fight and a great main event. Something added to the zone. I know Navarrete is a top-ranked guy, right? But he's kind of borrowed, I guess, in this case on the zone. This seems to be the case that without going on with a lot of top-ranked fighters. But one of the other stories we got to handle, it has to do with Top Rank and maybe ESPN. Maybe they might be back on ESPN soon. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be one of the other stories we're going to be talking about. Conor Benn and Regis Prograis on the undercard, Tyson Fury undercard, if I can pronounce his name right, Makhmudov, going to be taking place in April in London. We're going to be talking about that. I don't know about it being a $15 million fight or $10 million fight, but we're going to be talking about that, of course, and what our thoughts are, amongst other things. Things like the $1 billion lawsuit, Frank Warren and Zuffa Boxing, or Sella TKO. Apparently he got cut out of a deal or something. So if I'm understanding that correctly. He's taking them to court for that. We're going to be talking about that. And a few other things. Maybe we take a look at Zuffa's roster. They finally gave us an actual roster. They're only 4 fucking fights in, 4 events in, and they finally gave us a full roster of all the guys under their contract. So talking about that, right? We got plenty to talk about. Okay. Of course, as is becoming the custom, before we get started on the topic, make sure to check out our video sponsor, Health Isol. Health Isol, or Health Ysol, tallow-based products. Make sure to give them a try. If you find anything you like, by all means, check out or use the checkout code MADBoxing10 and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video. Once more, tallow-based products, Sol y, or Health Isol, or Health Ysol if you guys don't speak Spanish. And they're tallow-based products. Make sure to give them a try. My favorite scent is lavender patchouli. So it's not just soap, by the way. It's also, other products. But make sure to give them a try. And the affiliate link will be in the description of the video. All right. So we're going to kick off this big show. Actually, there's a lot of things to talk about. There's quite a bit that tends to happen every so often when we skip Wednesdays. But we're going to start with last night's main event card in particular, because it's a weight class that the neighboring weight classes has a lot of interesting fights. I mean, in that weight class on its own. But Emanuel Navarrete, Vaquero, taking on Sugar Nunez. What a killer ass fight that was. Unfortunately, ended up going one way, at least the latter half of the fight. Navarrete basically whooping the piss out of Nunez. Nunez was a tough dude, and he was in there from the beginning. He was a champ, right? It was a unification at 130 pounds, IBF and WBO, and Navarrete came away with the decision. Now, for the first time in his career, being a unified champ. I believe he was a WBO champ in previous weight classes, 126, 122. I myself, I didn't realize that I've actually been to two Navarrete fights, both of them in Arizona. The rematch with Isaac Dogbe, and then the rematch with Valdez. I actually drove to Arizona for both those. I didn't even realize it. I was like, oh shit, I've actually been to the arena that they held that same fight last night. But anyway, it was a dope ass fight. It was fun as hell. We're gonna be talking about Navarrete a little bit later on. Well, actually, right after this, just because there's some news of him potentially being on another fight card here in the near future. But regardless, we're gonna start off with him unifying the weight class yesterday. All right, it was a fun fight. I kind of wish that they would have stopped the fight a little bit earlier. I'm not sure if you guys remember, Nunez's eye was closed. I believe it was his right eye was basically swollen shut. He came out for one round. I think they gave him maybe after it was swollen shut. I think they gave him one full round, and then the following round is when they stopped it, if I remember correctly. And I don't think they should have let him out for that one round. Thankfully, the doctor stepped in. The doctor basically had to pull open his eye to take a look at it, and he finally called it off. He wasn't very pleased with it, right? There was only one more round left. But man, another 3 minutes of taking shots on that eye. Look, I know these guys are warriors, and these guys don't want to quit, but there are times where there's on top of the fact that he was cut there, of course, and granted this was slightly under the eye, but when your eye is messed up like that, when it's swollen, it's difficult to see punches coming from that direction. The opponent is going to take full advantage of that. So we know damn well that Navarrete is going to start throwing a lot more to that side, and it could cause permanent damage on top of not seeing shots coming. The ones that they say the ones you don't see are the ones that hurt you the most and the ones that knock you out. So it could have ended even worse. But thankfully, the doctor stepped in and called it. And Navarrete has officially unified the division. And they made it a point to mention this. This is the first time that Navarrete used a dietitian. And clearly, he looked good, and he didn't have any problems making 130. I remember hearing Navarrete back in the day. I mean, as a matter of fact, when he fought Dogbe, that he said that he never really dieted. He would just exercise and eat whatever the fuck he wanted to eat. And sometimes you can see it in his body. Although he would make the weight, you can see he looked kind of flabby, right? He has that like skinny fat look to him. He didn't look ripped by any stretch. He was never like that to begin with, but he definitely looked a lot more toned last night. And it seems as though the dietitian really did some major things for him. But Andrew, what did you think of the? Let me go ahead and bring Andrew in here. What did you think of the main event and Navarrete's performance last night?
Hey, what's up, you guys? The dietitian helped him make weight. I don't know if it helped him gain muscle or gave him the capability of taking a body shot. Because, man, Nunez was definitely getting to Navarrete's body last night. I thought that was going to be a turning point later on in the fight if he would have kept on it. But it was an exciting fight. Look, the stoppage, I like to leave it in the hands of the doctor, the ref, and the corner, right? And the fighter, sometimes you got to save them from themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's whatever those three want to do. I don't mind them fighting on, Miguel, because we all know what TKO losses are to these guys' careers, So if the young man wants to put it all on the line, hats off to him and let him put it all on the line. Now, the reason why I believe they stopped that fight was because the round before, it did look like Navarrete was finally breaking Nunez down physically. You started seeing crack in the foundation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they seen that. They seen how far he was. I don't believe it was his corner that stopped it, though. But I didn't see a tremendous argument from the corner when the ref does stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say even his coach is like, yeah, hey, they're stopping it. Like gave him one of those kind of body languages. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So great fight. Very sad how it ended because I thought it was his face fell apart, man. That eye got swollen fast. I don't know if it was a thumb in the eye, if the eyelid just maybe had broke the little muscle. I don't know if the eyelid just dropped or if it was actually a thumb. It was kind of weird In the very beginning, it kind of looked like he just couldn't open his eyelid. Then, as it got further into the fight, and then you could see the swelling was coming from the inside out, so it was possibly pointing towards a thumb in the eye. Either way, it wasn't illegal. It all happened legally. It's just one of those fucked up things where that punch grazes you. You know, that thumb gets in there and more than the glove, and your eye is gone in a matter of 3 minutes, 6 minutes, and that's what happened. And once he went blind, it's over. You can't fight a man like Navarrete with one eye.
No, definitely not. And it was one thing that's kind of crazy about Navarrete is he, and they talked about it during the broadcast, is he does a lot of unconventional stuff. You know, it's not things that you would normally, you know, train or teach your student or your whomever, right? It's like you don't want to like tell them, hey, do what Roy Jones does and put your hand behind your back kind of shit, right? We don't do that. But he has this way. I mean, he does that, you know, kind of almost like a lead uppercut, which you don't want to do. But
Right.
his arms are so long, it's almost like guys scoot back thinking they're out of range, and his arms are so long that he'll catch you. Even it's weird because you would think for guys that have longer arms, you want to get inside, and that's what he would try to do, right? Nunez tried to throw the body, push him up against the ropes, but even those shots, it's almost like the arm shots of Navarrete was still like he's got like a way to get some sort of leverage on those arm shots that even the ones that aren't like the ones that he puts his hips and his shoulders into. So man, even on the inside, you would think that, you know, a much shorter opponent like Nunez getting on the inside, and he was successful, but you know he had to pay the price for being in there. Even that he was in there and he was landing those shots, he was taking them too, and it was they tried to hype this up as like, you know, these Mexico versus Mexico type of fights, and the fight was awesome. I'm not going to say it wasn't, but I mean, obviously, it wasn't to the level of some of the other ones that they were comparing it to prior to it. They were showing like a quick graphic of some of the other Mexico versus Mexico fights, like Barrera Morales and Vasquez and the other Marquez, Rafael Marquez. But it doesn't rank up there. But it was still a hell of a fun fight. Like me and my pops were like on the edge of our seats because I mean there was a point where it almost looked like the momentum was switching. Like we can tell that Nunez was behind the cards, but you can sense the urgency. You know, he would come forward and the way he would push, and then he would just get the shots. And my dad was like, I don't know how many more shots he's gonna be able to take. Like he goes in there and he takes a lot of punches while on the inside, and he goes back to his corner and is like, "Fuck!" He's like, you know, walking a little slow. You know, the referee, or I guess it was the doctor, right? Because ultimately it was the doctor who did it. Because I remember the doctor having to pull open his eye and get the flashlight in there, and I think they're the ones that called it. But another 3 minutes of that wouldn't have gone his. I don't think it would have made a difference other than probably made the injury even worse. But ultimately it was a fun fight. Whatever the dietitian did, it helped him, right? I mean, he looked different, right? It seemed, or that they said he at least made it that made the weight a lot easier than he has before. So hopefully this is a trend that he continues, because that one trip to 135 that he did, that he gave a try with I think about a year and a half ago, didn't go his way. And right now, 135 probably is not a good idea. He should stick to 130. And he's a unified champ. Um, so that kind of like leads into like another story, but I don't want to get there quite yet. But um, first time unified. That's kind of crazy, huh? For like somebody for like Navarrete, who's been a multiple weight division champion. This is the first time he's unified division. He's unified like belts. I mean, seems like he should have been already done that. No, I mean, even at 126, for as long as he lasted down there, I know that there was a possibility that he was even going to fight Shakur at some point, maybe even at 130 or 126. It seemed as though he was just one weight class above every single time. But kind of crazy that he's just now unifying the division, huh?
Yeah, it might be a money situation. Could have been the situation Top Rank was in at the time. They just didn't have the money to pull the trigger on putting a unification together. Honestly, I think that's what this fight they did probably a little too fast, was put this one together. Look, Nunez had a great record coming in, 29-1 and 27 knockouts with the belt. He had the record, he had the title. What it seems like he was missing to make this all Mexican classic war, like they were trying to force down our throats. I do agree with you on that. The guys did great at trying to make it a war, though. It was very exciting, but he's missing the big win. They should have put him in the ring with somebody. I don't know who, don't ask who, but I don't, you You got to have him have that big win on Mexican television. Then if he's 31 with 28 knockouts and the title, now him and Navarrete are on a way bigger scale. But it seems like as soon as he won the title, they went right for the money bag and then tried to tell us it was going to be a war anyways, which it was. It was a war. I was entertained. It was a great fight. It sucks that his face fell apart the way that it did, though, because it seemed like the eye was immediate and then it was over.
Yeah.
Right. It's like it swells up and then the cut happened and that looked bad. Man, that cut started bleeding really bad fast and it was like, darn. I don't like, I know I'm going to sound like a savage. I don't like how everybody was saying to stop the fight. I don't like that. Chavez is screaming at ringside. The ESPN, stupid. DAZN, their commentators are screaming at ringside, or I guess it's English, Spanish, however you guys want to say it. You know what I mean? Because I know Chavez is probably doing the Spanish telecast. So they're all DAZN. But that was like, this is the only way these guys make a living. If this guy can get one body shot in, if he could get one left hand, I think we all seen, who was it? Jorge Castro versus John David Jackson. Both eyes shut,
Action
both
Jackson.
cut. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Both cut.
On that Don King undercard, I remember that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it happened. You know what I mean? The punch landed. It happened. You can even go Foreman more. Foreman is fucking, I think both eyes are closed, right? He's getting his ass peppered by more. Then the punch lands. It's just,
Yeah. You kind of want to let the guy that you want to give the guy every chance he can, and if it means 3 more minutes, it's only 1 more round, go ahead and let him out there if that's the case.
Yes. That's why it was sad to see him so upset. I know they have to save themselves. I know that's what the trainer should probably be locked in with this fighter more. I'm going to say that. You got to sit down and have discuss. These are like real life discussions that need to be talked about before you step into these rings, right? Because I'm dead serious, man. What if this guy can't read? And I'm not saying he can. I'm saying, what if he can't, right? What if? Like, this is the only way he makes money. And he tells me, no, dude, I'm going out on my fucking shield. Well, guess what that man's going to do then? Or me and him are yelling all the way together. I'm telling the commissioner, no, my guy wants to go. I'm not going to be going, hey, man, oh.
Yeah, this was on you. Like, no, fool. We got hit together.
On you.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm backing away. If you want to keep going, all right. It's like, oh, come on now. Back me up, fool.
Exactly. So that's what I would hope for if I was a fighter. Have a better communication with my trainer that we're both going down on the shield, or it's your call, man, because I'm a knucklehead. I'll go to the death, right? Yeah. Maybe he tells his trainer that, and then at least he's good with it. But that night, he did not look good with it. It looked like he was upset that they were stopping that fight.
Yeah, he really did. There's more of Navarrete that I want to talk about later on because it involves something good.
And I got to agree with him. Because as I was cheering, let me tell you, that underdog shit, Miguel, oh boy, we would have scored. Yeah. I never would have went with the new guy. I'm telling you that. Decent record, but he had no resume. Decent record, no resume. Navarrete, great record, great resume, still damn near in his prime. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm going Navarrete all the way. So as I'm watching the fight, I'm already told my son, I like showing my son what I know through watching the boxing with him, right? Because I try to tell him what's going to happen before it happens, right? We're doing that thing. And so I'm telling him we're going for Navarrete. This is why this is the fight, what we think is going to happen, why we want him to win. But they're both Mexican, right? So every time that Navarrete did get hurt, it's like, oh, yes. Oh, dude, he's really hitting him too, man. He's like, you're battling yourself. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of that thing, when everyone saying to stop it, I'm like, man, fuck you guys, because he's landing shots. I'm seeing my boys getting hurt too. The guy I'm going for is getting rocked every once in a while. And I felt bad for him that it sucked that they stopped that fight. Does he deserve a rematch? I don't know. I would say maybe take him and get him another big victory with the current champ or a past champ. Just try to get him in a big fight, get a victory, then maybe go after the 2 belts against Navarrete again, because they do have the back the story now of it being a rivalry, right? They're both from Mexico. They threw down and it was stopped prematurely on the swollen eye, right? So got a little bit of a storyline. If he can go get a big win, maybe they take this back.
Yeah, let's bring back Kevin Farmer. Throw his that's in there. Why not? Just why not? Just go ahead. Nunez knocks this motherfucker's clock out. Why not? All right. I'm sure he'll sign that.
Damn, poor Farmer.
Right. Speaking of eyes, geez, right? Jesus Christ. Well, I was going to say, but there's more to Navarrete that we're going to talk about here shortly. But what about Emiliano Vargas? What about his performance? Right? It was was it the co-main event? Was the right before? I think it was. Man, he's gone. I want to say he's gone the distance before. I don't remember if it was a 10-round prior to this or not, but this was tough, man. And this is one of the stoppages that maybe was right. I mean, the dude was pissed off, right? By the way, he won by 9th round TKO, taking on, or he defeated Agustin Quintana. From Argentina. Dude was tough. He was outmatched. He was outgunned from the beginning. You can see it was a speed thing, right? And as time went on, it looked like he was just outclassed, but he was never out of it. I mean, it was never to the point. You can tell that a few times he hit the canvas, not because of the knockdown per se, but his legs were getting tired. So it wasn't going his way. And it looks like, Vargas was going to have his way. And he did for the most part. And at the very end there, I kind of wish they would have kept it going. This one, ended in the 9th round. They were scheduled for 10, if I'm not mistaken. So it didn't go the full 10, but he had gone before, the full 10 rounds before. And he sounded, even after the fight ended and he was interviewed in the ring, Vargas sounded like he had plenty of energy. So I'm sure the guy can do 12 rounds. He's at that point. He's in a difficult weight class, though, 140 pounds. Holy shit. I don't know how far he is from any sort of major title fight there, but I'm not sure if he's ready for any other champions. But regardless, it was a great performance. I was, and we've talked about it before. He's a special one of the Vargas boys. No knock on the other ones, but this dude is a special one. And you hit it right on the money. You said, well, that's why Top Rank got him, right? I mean, that they have that scouting eye, and great fight. I mean, even though he did what he did and left Quintana's face looking like fucking shredded cheese. It was a fun fight. He was in there against a dude who wasn't gonna just lay down or anything like that. So fun fight for him. I thought it was gonna go the full 10, but they ended up stopping. I don't know. I think you and I were talking about it or texting. That stoppage, I'm not sure if we're down with that stoppage, right? They could have I think they could have let it go. His face was fucked up. Part of that had to do with headbutts, so it wasn't like they were just all punches necessarily. But you can see the objection from Quintana's corner, or himself at least. It kind of seemed as though, I thought at least it was his corner who stopped it. Like when the referee waved it off, I thought I saw his trainer who was talking to him kind of turn to the ref and be like, yeah, that's it, call it. So then he called it off. I was very, very quick though. It almost seemed like you would miss it if you didn't catch that. But awesome fight. What do you think about the stoppage there with Emiliano and Quintana?
Yeah, I think that isn't that the one we said. I thought the ref betted on the under or some shit.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really agree with the stoppage. Look, even though he's winning, we go back to, you guys, this all falls back to their next fight, their next payday, right? Now the next promoter can hold over his head that he was stopped. That's all. Whenever you see us talking about we don't like the stoppage, or we do, most of the time it's an argument of the fighter, because we know he's going to be docked pay on his next go around. So that's where that argument comes from. But with that being said, I do believe that he could have went on. Now with Vargas, Miguel, I think you hit it right when you said we have been saying he's the best out of the Vargas boys. Now it's time for Emiliano to show he's one of the best in the world, right? We get that he's the cream of the crop of the Vargas family. We get that side. But last night was probably the first night that I thought Vargas looked a little bit, how do you say, like he has reached the peak of where he's going to go, possibly with his dad. He just looked like he was doing a lot of the same things over and over again, and I didn't like that. same combinations, the same movement coming in. He needs to separate himself now, not just from his brothers, but now from the rest of the pack. That's what I would say Vargas should be doing in 2026. Not worrying about a title, but start putting in some A+ performances. Last night, I would give him a solid B+, big time B+, but I would not an A play. He didn't get a legit knockout. Yeah, it was a showcase fight. And like I said, I thought he was not Navarrete. See, when that guy loses his eye against Navarrete, that fight is over because Navarrete's got so many combos. He's got so many different angles. Vargas is very 1-2, 1-2, 3, 1-2, 2-3, 1-2. Like it's almost like he's calling them off in his head, if that makes any sense, right? Like very too basic. Let's mix it up a little. Let's learn a little. Let's grow, right? So that's what I want to see from Emiliano. So that all that talk about the title last night, Mora told him. Mora said he's not doing it until 26, and it was the other guy, Mannix or whatever, kept pressing him for this year. Then Vargas at the end was like, maybe the end of the year, but 2026. I like that game plan. Get him
27
or 27. Excuse me. Damn.
Okay.
Oof. Damn. Did he say 20? Yeah, he might have said 26 too.
He might have said. I think he said like the end of 26, or if not next year. I think I'm not sure if he
next year. There you go.
Yeah, because he did say that at the very end. I like the fact that he threw in there like maybe a former champion. All right, cool. Maybe a former champion. I'm down with that.
Definitely like that.
Camboso, is he still around?
That's a good fight.
Yeah, maybe not a former champion at 140, but still.
Yeah, no, I like that fight though, because all of that is a jump up for this young man. I don't know if you heard me, but last night was the first time that I felt that Emanuel, what's his name?
Vargas, Emiliano.
Damn it, I was gonna call him Emanuel like Pacquiao. I thought he was Pacquiao's kid. Emiliano looked like he has reached the top with his dad. Yeah. Okay. As just a lot of the same things, the same moves, the same combos. His dad's got a mix.
But his pops wasn't like that. Like, why do you think?
Yes, his dad was very much like that.
Very basic. No shit. I mean, I don't remember. I thought his repertoire of punches was fantastic against like guys like Huarte, something like that. I thought it was.
I'll always remember Vargas as saying, "I have bigger balls. I come here to fight," and he's always just in your face, throwing the hooks to the body, hooks to the head, gets countered, gets dropped, gets knocked out. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing, Vargas. I'm just playing. But he did have a lot of knockouts. I was there for, was it Mosley 2? I think I was there for Mosley 2 on that one. That was a bad one.
Yeah. I mean, even Mosley 1, that fucking swelling on that eye looked nasty. Yeah. That was like Quasimodo shit right there. That one looked really, really bad. All right. So you're thinking maybe he'll be better off being handed off to another trainer who's got.
And not handed off, but they got to grow. Look, Fernando Vargas is a world-class fighter, right? He's got to bring someone in. I hate when we always act like that means dad needs to just like go away, disappear kind of thing. Does not mean that, but bring someone in or do some training with someone, but then on fight night, keep it your dad. There's no problem with that. I think his dad knows how to guide him through a fight, but he might need to learn new. His son has more probably natural ability than maybe his dad did skill-wise. Not heart, not power, okay? But skill-wise, he seems lighter on his feet. Seems more like a boxer puncher than what his father was, right? So his dad might want to bring someone in that can show him that side of boxing. It's the American, more of the American boxer, right? Just something like that to see if that you can work that into his offense, and now you have a double. What do you call it? A switch hitter. You know what I'm saying? He can go inside and he could stay on the outside. Something like that. But definitely think that's what I felt last night. Like I said, this was the first time. Okay, we know that he's better than his brothers. Now he needs to show he's one of the best in the world. So let's go there. Let's shoot for that in 26. Damn, 27 sounds old, bro.
Right.
27.
Well, I mean, it's officially March, so we're 9 months away, I guess. A little more than 9 months. But no, yeah, I hear you. I mean, that totally makes sense. I didn't. I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I thought it was great. You know, I mean, like you said, it was still solid, right? It was still a B. We just call it a B plus, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
enough, enough to get him there. I thought he did great. I thought when we kind of right off the bat, we knew that this dude was like special. I wouldn't mind seeing him in there with a former champion here before, and active, being active. We're in March. Maybe he can get one more fight in, like towards the end of summer. Maybe it's a little sooner. Of course, that'd be nice. And then one more fight before the year's end. Um, I know the circumstances with ESPN and Top Ranker, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But he fought on DAZN. I don't think he's ever fought on DAZN before, so I'm sure they can figure out how to get him into the ring at least two more times right before the end of the year. What were you gonna say?
Let me give you an example. If you, I know Emiliano loves his Mexican heritage, right? So maybe take him over there to work with. I know Nacho's getting old, but what about the Marquez? Maybe Juan Manuel Marquez wants to show him a few things, right? Just do some training with him. Go stay down there for a few months. Doesn't mean he has to become your head trainer. Doesn't mean he has to show up at fight night if you want your father still to have that role. But that's a boxer. That's a man that clearly adapted the boxing style into his own and was one of the best at doing it. And you go over there and learn off of him. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of that outside game, those outside combos, more the outside game than being on the inside like his dad was, because I think he has more to offer with his hand speed and his feet work.
All right, all right. All right. Well, those are the two primary fights of last night. One of the whenever we talk about fights or fights results or recap the fights, I always like to look at what's next, right? What's next for these guys? We kind of talked about already what was next for Vargas, but for one Navarrete, this is kind of leaks into like the second part of the story here. This is kind of rumored, kind of sort of seems as though this is in the works. We've talked about Canelo Alvarez making his return to the ring later this year in September, September 12th in particular. Well, it looks like, and we had already heard word that this was going to be some sort of Mexico versus the world type of fight card. Well, one of the rumored names on that card is Navarrete. Just flat out being that motherfuckers out there, right? Which is plenty of time to recover between now and then. I'm gonna go ahead and read this post here real quick. September 12th, right? This one says Uncle Turkey, Uncle Turkey will host a fight card called Mexico versus the World, planning to pit Mexican champions against top champions from other countries. This event will take place in Saudi Arabia to celebrate Canelo Alvarez's return to the ring. These are the fights that are proposed: Canelo versus Christian and Billy. All right, cool. I believe that might be for the WBC belt, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if I want to say Billy still has the WBC belt. Navarrete versus Oshaki Foster, which is the WBC champ at 130 pounds. Oh, damn. That one, that's kind of the second part of this story here. Pitbull Cruz versus Dalton Smith. Okay, Smith just beating Matias with that crazy upset. And then David Benavides versus Bivol. Holy shit! All right, that's quite the crazy ass card. We can kind of start from the bottom up here, but the way they have it, at least on this particular post that I saw on Facebook, they have Benavides and Bivol, Dimitri Bivol, kind of like at the bottom. I don't think it'll be there. It'll most likely be the co-main event, I suspect. But in regards to Navarrete, Oshaki Foster, okay, coming off a great win over Stephen Fulton recently. And that's going to be another unification bout, unifying 3 belts. Wow, that's a tall task. Foster looking pretty good. I know prior to this fight, Foster's kind of been like hit or miss. He'll do one good fight, then one not that great fight, and he'll get kind of shafted on some close decisions. But all right, first off, before we go to any other fights, Andrew, Navarrete against Oshaki Foster.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent fight. They're both champs. It's a boxer versus a puncher. It's USA versus Mexico. It's 1 versus 2. Not too many other reasons why you have to make this fight happen, right? So it's a great fight. I hope this card gets made. It's hella funny. I don't know why I was being dumb. I guess it's my Zuffa hate sometimes pouring through. But I thought that Smith kid, I thought that was the kid on the. He's all the way at middleweight still, right? The kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. That's Dalton Smith.
Yeah, this is Dalton Smith.
All right, my bad.
Callum Walsh.
Yeah, Callum Walsh. I was like, man, they're moving him way too fast. But that's not even the same white guy. Sometimes you get white people confused too. See, it's all the same.
It happens, what
It
can we say?
happens.
The names sound familiar. They're like
Oh shit!
single syllable names. You know what I'm saying? Dalton, Callum,
I guess I
Smith,
was hella
Walsh.
stereotyping, huh?
Right. It's like, oh, it's the same. It's a Smith, the most typical fucking, white last name. And that's the same guy. I'm sure it is. But that's definitely not him.
Yeah. My bad, you guys. But yeah, I love that fight. Navarrete Foster, great fight. Canelo Mabili, that's almost becoming a farewell tour. I won't say it's a farewell fight for Canelo, but for the start of the farewell tour, that's a good matchup. WBC title. Cruz and Smith. I don't know too much about the Dalton Smith. Who did he just beat, you say?
Matias. He knocked down Matias and the Puerto Rican dude who was like the boogeyman.
Oh,
basically.
yes.
I knocked him out in
yes.
like 6 rounds or something like that. They were going back and forth. It was tough, but he got himself. It was, and then afterwards, Eddie gets in the ring and they all have a big old hug session. But yeah, he's an Eddie Hearn dude. But yeah, that guy pulled off the upset.
Eddie did that last night too. Eddie did that with Nunez. Did you see the love fest they tried recording? Great call right there, Miguel. Eddie was trying to show he loves his fighters last night, dude. He was like, bring that camera. Hey, come here, bring it in. Bro, I love you, bro. I love you. Are you okay? How's your eye? Are your eye good? Love you. Everything you did. I was like, Eddie, it's all right, Eddie. We get it.
Yeah.
Connor's like, he never did that to me. Guess that's new.
He never asked me how I was doing.
Yeah. Hey, remember what was that in the Adam Sandler movies? Oh, why don't you ever hug me? And he hits his other agent. Or what was that? That was the give me the money. Tom Cruise. Show me the money.
Yeah. Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire. Remember at the end when you talk to me like that, and he tries to hug him. He goes, "Get away from me."
I don't want the hug now, fool.
Yeah, that was Eddie Hearn last night.
And I think Eddie's kind of been called out on it before, and he's like, and in previous interviews, he's like, "What? I'm supporting my fucking guy. What can you say, right?" Tries to be that way, but I mean, yeah, he did that. I'm trying to think of. Well, I mean, even with what's his name, with fucking Anthony Joshua, that one time when, like, was it Joshua? I think it was Joshua, where like he wins. I forget what fight it is, but he's like super excited. He goes there for the hug, and Joshua's like, still being like kind of all by himself, so he kind of sort of chucks Eddie off of him, and he's like, oh, that's just kind of awkward. Yeah, he's still kind of celebrating. One of those kind of things.
You can almost bet that the next time him and Oscar get into it, he's going to be bringing that Oscar quote up. He's going to be like, me and Oscar are different. You see how I love my fighters? Look what Oscar said the other day. He doesn't even care. They're like one in a dozen. They come and go. Oh, yeah, we're not the same. You can almost guarantee that little video is going to come back to haunt Oscar, too. Oscar, do you ever hug Ryan when he loses? Huh?
Yeah. You ever tell him you love him? You ever tell him to bring it in? You ever tell him one of those things?
He was like, we're 100% behind you. Yeah, he told Nunez got it all. Nunez got all the love last night. No, but he deserved it. Definitely bring the young man back. He's got a solid record, good style. He's got an exciting style inside, a lot of body shots. He almost got it done. He made me nervous a few times in that fight, man. But no, it was a good one. Good fight.
All right. So Pitbull, Dalton Smith. All right. Benavidez, Bivol. Now this is, I think that I've kind of noticed a bit of a trend here, like stacked cards. And then as the fight approaches, one fight drops or two fight drops, and the card isn't exactly as stacked as it once was. So, I mean, this gave me minor chub. I'm not going to say it did. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. But we kind of have to wait. Mind you, this is like several months, 6 months from now or something like that, right? And this is just the preliminary talks, right? This is what they're thinking about. As of right now, there's no official announcement or anything like that. But when this popped up, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. We got to talk about what dope stacked card this is. Rather not it actually comes through until September is another story.
Yeah. At least one fight will get dropped. Benavidez Bivol won't happen, and Foster will pull out because of an injury.
Oh, damn, already.
They'll put a fill-in on Navarrete, and that's the card you're going to get. It's going to be Mexico versus somebody. That's what it's going to be titled after that.
Oh gosh, guys, bookmark this show. Let's place your bets right now. Hold on. What's the over under that fucking Oshaki pulls out? No. Yeah, I know. I hear you. I mean, that's quite the the roll of the dice there. You certainly called it right
Well,
off of that.
well, look, man. I'm going to go off the top and say I told you last week that I didn't think Turkey liked Oscar anymore. That you could see the body language between the two is just not in a good place right now. Where is Zuro's name for B-ball?
Yeah. Right.
What if Zuro wins and doesn't have? We're not even gonna put him on the card. Yeah, say B-ball isn't on the card then, but Zuro don't even get if you win, you're on the all Mexican card yourself. Is that the Canelo hate? Is Canelo like fuck you we ain't putting Zuro on even if he wins?
Damn.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, man. I thought that was a straight slide to Ramirez, man. I was like, come on now. He's got the major fight with Benavidez. If he wins, he should be a major player, you
Mhm.
know? So yeah, that now that I think about it, it might be a mix of Turkey going Canelo. What do you think of Canelo going? He did the either thumbs up or thumbs down, bro. He went like that. Bam. Fuck
Damn.
Oscar.
And I know, like, and Turkey's done this before, right? We heard, what was it, Berlanga and Shiraz, and it was like the winner gets Canelo, completely ignoring that Canelo has a fucking fight with Crawford coming up, and it didn't turn out that way, right? So,
Right.
this sounds like that might be in the same direction, because Zurdo's not an easy fight. I know it's just basically everybody's looking at it like it's just a formality. Benavidez is going to go up against Zurdo and take the belts, and then boom, now we have this fight made. No, it's not. It's not that easy. Um, but I mean, if it happens, it happens. Hopefully the card ends up being what it is. But I wanted to throw that in there just because it had Navarrete included in. I was like, oh shit, all right, I'm down with that one. Any of the other champs, sure, why not?
Yeah, no, it's an excellent card, especially because that Dalton Smith does have a title, correct?
Yeah.
So Cruz would be going for a title there. Yeah, that's an excellent card.
Alrighty. All right. So, anything else we want to add that before we go to the next topic, which is kind of a weird mishmash of stories because it involves a lot of moving parts. But yeah, anything else you want to add to this Navarrete story and the Mexico versus the world before we move on?
No, we're good.
All right. So this one's kind of a weird one. I've been hearing a lot of things about it. As I mentioned before, and I will continue to say it. Whenever I read stories of news as being reported, I come to my own conclusions, right? I have my own opinions on stuff, and at the same time, whenever I like to hear other people's opinion, I try to empty my cup as much as I can, and kind of like a juror, right? A jury, I guess. I hear all the stories, and then I come to my own conclusion afterwards. This one, I'm not sure what to think about, but I tried to take in as many stories as I could about it. Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis that is going to land on the Tyson Fury undercard. Let me see if I can pull up this photo here. So it looks like it was announced Conor Benn will face Regis Prograis as the co-feature co-main event on Tyson Fury's return against, if I can pronounce the name right, Arslanbek Makhmudov on the 11th of April in London. This bout will be Benn's first since signing with Dana White's Zuffa Boxing. Now, if you guys remember, there is a lot of hoopla over Conor Benn basically jumping ship, leaving Matchroom and Eddie to sign with Zuffa for what has been reported as a one-fight deal worth 8 figures. Now, we've heard that 8 figures be 10 million. I've heard it be 15 million. I've even heard it as high as 30 just because of a potential future fight. When I hear that, that kind of gives me the impression that this fight here is not the fucking $15 million fight or whatever the fuck fight that supposedly is supposed to be that one fight deal. That seems to be the story that's going around here, that this fight isn't it, but rather there's another one. I sure as hell hope it's not, because I don't know how in the motherfuck this is a $15 million fight for Conor Benn. But I'm sorry, yeah, Conor Benn and Regis. But before we get to that, before we get to that being on the co-main event here, Andrew, what did you think when you first heard that Conor has been signed to fight Regis Prograis?
Sorry, my son just Put hot coffee right over my lap, bro. I had to make sure that was
Came
taken.
to came to refuel you like fucking
Yeah,
pit stops. Like,
yeah,
put the gas in there.
but it's shaking. It's
Ah,
shaking. The coffee's
whoops.
moving. I'm like, oh my god, do not spill. Hey, come on, you guys. Good job. Thank you. But no, dude, one fight, two fights. You know, I haven't heard anything. Look, I heard Conor turned down. He rejected the 2-fight deal.
Mm.
He rejected it. He took the 1-fight deal. That's all I've heard. Um, it's a lot of money, dude. I was shocked when I seen it was Prograis. Okay, I was double shocked when I seen it was on the undercard. Look at you guys. He just did this with the Devin Haney in May. That card. He's paying everyone millions of dollars. He doesn't make a dime on the thing. They don't announce any kind of financial success from the event. They don't announce anything that New York. Did you see any breaking numbers from New York? Did New York go, hey man, that those 3 main events they put in downtown, wow, that brought $500 million that day or that weekend to our downtown city?
Not a peep.
Not a peep. He puts a lot of money into these things. He paid Devin $16 million, bro. I laughed at that. I use that all the time as I don't know where they're getting that money from. Who's making these investments? I like that Turkey has a lot of money, but I don't think they know how to spend it. Conor Benn is not Conor Benn isn't even a champion, dude. 15 million, and I know they're saying 16, 20, 30, 10. I don't know what it ends at. I'm going to go with 15, what's been talked about the most. He's not even a champion. The Eubank fight did great for him over there. It did nothing. Yeah, for both of them, but we're talking Benn right now.
No, I meant both fights. Both.
Oh, yes.
The first fight.
Yes. The rematch even bigger because everyone knew how good the first fight was, right? I think the rematch, they make 15 million at the gate, which is great money. But what happens when you only sign one guy to 15 million and you also have Tyson Fury on the card who's probably going to demand that? How are they going to make this money back with both of them on the card? Just like we talk about in New York a year ago or so. They put all that money on the card. Where were they going to make the money back? You guys, I don't know where this investment's coming back. I'm going to say this is a bad investment. This is a bad deal. Great for the fighters. Great for Benn. You know, but I also seen Triller make a little splash in the boxing and pay a few guys, and then they went away. I also seen Rockefeller, Rock Nation. There you go, Rock Nation. Come to boxing, give a few fighters a few paychecks, and then they went away. Like, we've seen this before.
You remember BLK Prime, that one fight that they had with Crawford? That shit came and booked it real fast.
Yep. Yeah, great call, dude. And then we had the PBC. The PBC, which had a man, Al Heyman, who was able to hustle $750 million out of investors. I know I've said this story many times. You guys all know it. But he had investments that he was able to spend, get boxing contracts. He didn't know how to spend it, right? Or maybe he did. I don't know. We'll see at the end because he might have been double ending a lot of those deals at a higher price for a reason.
That might be why the reason they're in the position they are is because he did know how to spend it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But it's the same formula, right? Overspending for fights that should not have made that type of money. He never made a money back. He never even got a draw because the fights weren't worth the casual fan to sit down and watch, or they didn't know where to get them. That's another problem I think Turkey's going to have when he keeps doing, we're doing Paramount, we're doing Netflix, we're doing Amazon. He's got all these fights. You got to remember, we're casuals. We're casual, not we're, but they are casuals. The people that you're trying to tune into, you're trying to get attracted to your sport so you can blow up to Major League Baseball or whatever the fuck dipshit was saying 2 weeks ago, Max Kellerman, about being a professional league. Well, you're going to need the average fan to get to that level. I don't know if you want to keep jumping to all these different platforms so early. So, you know, back to the Benn and Prograis fight. I absolutely believe they're paying him that for one fight. I absolutely think this fight is $30 million in the hole before it's even sold a ticket.
Yeah, and you mentioned is, I mean, not just the fact that he is who he is, not a big name here. They're going to be over there in London, so obviously they think they much have a better shot at making the money back over there. But this is going to be on the undercard, or it's going to be the co-main event to Tyson fucking Fury. You know, you mentioned it. How much is his price tag going to be?
Yes.
How deep in the hole in the red they already are. Now, maybe they got Regis for certain dirt cheap, right? Maybe even Makhmudova, maybe not. But when it comes to heavyweights, you know, those guys get paid. So I'm sure he wasn't super cheap by any stretch. So I mean, how deep are they in the red before? They basically just announced it, right? It's and I don't know if they didn't specify anything beyond the fact that it's going to be with Zuffa. Well, yes. Is this considered Zuffa? Is this Zuffa Boxing? They're putting this together. Is that who it is? Because I saw the graphic of it, but I didn't see them on there. I'm not sure if that's what it is. It looks like it. I assume it is.
It's Zuffa. It's Rehad. Not Rehad. It's the Ring Magazine. I think they're all kind of tied together now. You know, they really. What was it told to us? I think by Oscar the other day that really Turkey owns more of Sella than TKO does, right? Didn't he say he owns the higher percentage of it? So it's really Turkey that's signing the majority of this money. Okay, sure. So it's probably going to fall under Zuffa. They were talking about him signing Fury anyways. Maybe they did, maybe they haven't, but they're going to buy this one fight, which I don't think is a great game plan. I know these guys have endless money, but we have to remember they did start purchasing a lot of things out there. You know, DAZN, other sports. Didn't they start golf? Didn't they start a racing league? They have a racing over there in Saudi Arabia or Riyadh now. Like they have a lot of other branches that they are spending money on. It's not like they're like, okay, how do we just take over boxing itself? Shit, they bought the fucking video game company.
Oh yeah, EA Sports.
EA Sports. I mean, these guys are branched out.
WWE. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, their money is thin. No. That's the wrong way to say it. Their money isn't all for boxing, is what I'm trying to say. So there is a cap. You know what I'm saying? If the king, the prince, whoever's Turkey's boss keeps saying, "Oh yeah, 30 million for that fight card. What'd you guys make back?" "Oh, red, negative. Didn't make a dime." "Okay, well, oh yeah, well, there's 10 million for that Eminem concert. What'd you make back on that?" "Oh, negative, negative red. What the fuck?" You know, every fucking deal that you've ever had. I don't know of a fight except Canelo Crawford that might have made this man money yet. They say Crawford and Canelo did, right? They did 40 million at the gate. They did so many views on Netflix. Netflix had a guaranteed purse, so they hopefully made money on the Crawford Canelo fight. But besides that, man, come on, Bivol versus fucking Better Beef. 20 million a piece or some shit. 20 million
10 million a piece. Yeah, so I think 20 total for that.
20 total, 2 fights, that's $40 million. You know how much red they seen in that one, bro?
Yeah, I can imagine.
I couldn't imagine, dude. The numbers that boxing's putting up in America to put those two fighters at 40 million guaranteed, 30 million, maybe the first fight he got a deal where there were only 5 million a piece. But 30 million, they did not make that back. He's had a lot of red. I don't know. You know, the Conor Benn, that's a shot in the dark. It really is. But Conor Benn's a knucklehead. Loose cannon, is that a better term to say it? Where he would sign
a little unpredictable.
Exactly. He would sign. Yeah, we seen like, remember he used to punk fucking it seemed like Eddie Hearn on DAZN all the time. Like Eddie. Yeah, Eddie'd be like, come on, calm down. He's like, no, I'm not calm. Not gonna be calm, Eddie. Like, dude, this guy's weird, man.
That's probably why he never brought it in with him. It's just like, I'm sure he'd be like, no, fuck that fool. Get the fuck off me. Shit, what the fuck? I barely hug my dad, homie. Shit, you think I'm gonna hug you? Fuck.
So he seems like the perfect candidate to get in a room by himself and he would sign on the dotted line. He doesn't seem like, I don't know if he said, wait, I gotta call my lawyers. I gotta call my team. You know, I'm just saying, Conor seems like that kind of guy. Like he's like, I'm gonna get my own money. Eddie probably he said he didn't even accept Eddie's call. That's the first sign. I don't believe it, but if it did happen, that's the first sign of not being a mature man. Would be not to pick up that phone with Eddie. What if he had a bigger price? What if somebody was like, no, we don't want Zuffa to succeed, so we'll give you 20 million for one fight. Dumbass. Oh, is that? I wish I had it. Thanks, dumbass. Dumbass.
We gotta find that. We gotta find the fucking the sound bite here. But no, but I mean, because there's people saying that it's just like a plan between Eddie and fucking Conor, right? They're saying like, all right, well, if they're gonna give you Regis, go homie, go make your fucking money, take advantage of that Saudi fucking money by all means. And it's a one fight deal, so maybe he'll be right back with Eddie afterwards. Who knows? But they're at least making it seem like there's beef, like manufacturing some sort of drama. I mean, it may not beef necessarily, but drama, because even Conor himself saying like, yeah, I want Eddie to be part of the team, kind of thing. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? I thought you just dropped this fool. Like, I'm not sure what that's about, but yeah, this I can't even imagine. I should actually imagine the kind of red that they'd be in this fight. But they are going to the UK, right? They're going to do it over there in London. So if that is any indication, it's at the very least maybe best case scenario they break even over there. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know what I didn't see what specific stadium or arena they're going to have it at. At least I didn't see right off the bat. So maybe, unless you saw it, but I'm assuming they're going to try to go to one of these humongous ones, right? Or these big old soccer stadiums to get as many people filled in as possible.
It's the same stadium that him and Eubank fought at.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, because there was a little news report out there or whatever that they dropped saying that it's going to be like the third time Benn fights at that stadium in a row.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, but once again, sold out last time, did 15 million. You almost have to double the ticket prices. Miguel, we're bringing it at a very low price. That Tyson Fury's coming in at the same price as Conor Benn, who's not even a world champ. So what are the chances of that being fucking true?
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's gonna be like, yeah, whatever. I wiped my ass with 15 million. Right? I mean, come on. If you're paying that young man 15 million, what the fuck you think you're paying the fucking Gypsy King, dude?
Right. The former 2-time heavyweight champion or whatever, right? Lineal champ.
And I think over there he's not considered like over the hill, or he might be on the downside of his prime, but I don't think his fan base is like, Tyson, no way. No, they're gonna show up, they're gonna watch him. I just don't know if they want to watch him at double the ticket prices that they're used to paying because of some knucklehead on the undercard that's not even a champ, and he's fighting fucking Regis Prograis. Come on, bro. Regis Prograis, like that's a bad sign. That's a bad fight. Hey, Regis had his last shot 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's very true. Which we were there.
Yes,
kind of funny, right? Against
Devin Haney, 2023. Man, when I seen that date, I was like, oh no. He looked old on that night. What the fuck? We'll say 2 years later.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. This kind of sort of bleeds into like another story of the rumor that not just Tyson Fury, but also Shakur Stevenson is going to be signing with Zuffa. I can't imagine how much more that's going to be, because I mean, they're not going to get him for fucking cheap. That's for damn sure, right? How much of a price tag is Shakur putting on himself? Man, they're just writing checks left and right here, right? I mean, fuck.
Well, they haven't yet.
But
rumor suggesting that yes, these guys are about to be investing a lot of money into our sport, at least for the near future. I don't know about the long game. Shakur, to me, is a long game investment. Tyson Fury is not. I don't even know if you make a dime on Tyson Fury with the undercard you got going on. You know what I mean? That's like a hard. I don't know. I don't know what the game plan is with that one. Maybe Paramount is trying to do a Netflix and get more subscriptions out of the UK fan base, so they're going to give them like this free night with both. Like, you heard about the power move thing, right? Where they're saying because like Conor Benn was one of Eddie Hearn's cash
Yeah.
cows, and
Right.
Tyson's one, and he's putting them on the same card. He's kind of showing both of these guys like who the big dog is now, right? He took both of their things. But I kind of agree with Frank Warren when he's like, "Yeah, that's cool that you do that. You have a lot of money, great, but show me what the money, what you make on it." That's like that's the bottom line here. The bottom line was never, can we get Conor Benn and Tyson Fury to make 30 million and us to go broke. That was never that was never the game plan in boxing, right? The promoter still has to make some money. So I thought that was a great, even though it's a straight power move showing by the Saudis, by Turkey and Riyadh. It's a foolish one when you really break it down. Because it's like, all right, you showed that, but now you guys didn't make any money, and this is like numerous times you guys haven't made money. So when are you guys going to stop spending and start making? Because that's what the boxing promoter game is supposed to be.
Right. And supposedly they got somebody who can do it in Dana, right? I mean, he did it with the UFC and MMA, right? I mean, that's the point. That's what, at least from the outside, it seems as though why he was brought in. It seems as though why he's rubbing elbows with
Definitely.
is because, oh shit, you did it over there. Cool, we can do it in boxing. Well, writing on checks. All right, Dana, when does it start? When does the making money start? Because all I've been doing is spending.
And unfortunately, Paramount just did their third card, and so far has only released one set of numbers. They haven't even released the Strickland Hernandez numbers. They just did another fight, I think, this weekend or something, and they have 2 Zuffa damn cards. But did you? And the only reason why I'm talking about both of them, you guys, is because they merged Zuffa's numbers with the UFC numbers to give us that 5 point something. So if they're doing that, I have to merge them from here on out, and that means the Strickland Hernandez fight that was merged with the Martin versus is it the Martin or the Velasquez Valenzuela?
I think it was the Valenzuela one. I think
the Valenzuela, but we know we have 2.
Oh, it was the Valenzuela one, and then because it was January, right? It was the Gaethje and fucking other one, like their first fight on, or their first card on Paramount.
That goes with Walsh. That's with Walsh.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's with Walsh. Then Valenzuela goes with someone, and then they had another fight where it's Strickland, and then not Opatai, the heavyweights, Martin and
and Ajagba.
Ajagba. There, thank you, bro. Ajagba. So they've had 3 cards where they kind of piggybacked with each other, and they have not shown us the numbers. They have not shown the numbers of their last 2 cards, bro. That can't be good. You know what I mean? So Dana, they need. Hey, Oscar told us. You know, Oscar might be a weirdo and everything, but his clapback Thursdays are usually on point.
He'll drop some gems. I mean, I'm not going to say that everything that he says on there is like 100% legit, but every so often sprinkled in there's some truth in there. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like me and him are on the same page with the hate of Dana White. It seems like his gems on Dana. He must pay top dollar for those that information, bro. He's getting some knowledge in from like freaking someone's very close to the source.
A mole, right?
Yes.
Mole in there.
Sort of like how they bombed Iran this weekend and took out every major fucking player in the game. Oh, that was definitely someone on the inside. That was some homeland shit right there, bro. Yes, sir. They said, "Oh, let's do it in the morning because they only bomb at night." They're doing it in the morning, you guys. 11 a.m.
Set your alarm clocks. Set your alarm clocks, guys, please.
We're gonna have bagels and coffee while we watch this shit.
Right. We're out here spreading fucking cream cheese on our bagels. I was like, oh, what's going on? Waking up in the morning. Does that mean that we're gonna hear you sound like Oscar? Like, oh, he's just a scumbag. Don't you guys understand? Dana White.
I'm just saying when Oscar said, you know, the other day, what did he tell us about Dana? That sort of, Turkey's gonna let him borrow some guys. And now we're seeing Conor might be on a 1-fight deal. We're seeing freaking Tyson Fury. You know, can't think that guy's the future, right? The dude has like 6 retirements already. He's 39. Right. At least 4 of them. Maybe 6 is too high, but he has at least 4 retirements already. He's 38, 39 years of age. Yeah, don't see him as the investment you're looking for. But if you're looking to get your numbers up, if you need a spike, maybe that's what Turkey is thinking. Now, With that being said, I don't think Conor Benn's the right one. I think Conor Benn was the only one. I
Mm,
don't think there's too many American fighters that are in on the Zuffa thing, bro. We've been game too much on the one. They're too connected to the UFC guys. They all seem to be friends. They're on the outside. They all kind of mingle together. They talk about this money. They talk about how the company does their guys wrong, right? All that behind the scenes talk, I think, has really ruined the reputation of Dana White and some of the fighters here in America. And where Conor Benn might be the only one that would sign at that age. Shakur, we'll see. That's huge, though. I expect them to be paying Shakur money that Top Rank never even came close to fucking paying this kid. That's why he's signing. I mean, if you're only making $5 million and now they're telling you 15, bro, you're out. I don't give a
yeah.
fuck who the company is.
Real fast, you're out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they'll get Shakur, but we'll see about all these other ones. But I do think Conor, it is getting. They were picking from the class that is ready to sign with them right now, unless they start giving these guys, some huge pay raises, which they've already shown. One to Conor, even though he made like $8 million in his last fight, he still got a raise. We'll see what they pay a fighter like Shakur if they do get him, and then like you said, how many fights, because that really matters too. This one fight deal is not going to work.
And it seems illogical because I don't remember Dana ever doing that in the UFC, saying like a one fight deal. Like that shit doesn't fucking happen. They are and it's been said many times, so it's not the first time we're hearing it here, but their contracts are very predatory. Like they will fucking keep you there for a long time, and by the time they're done with you, then they fucking spit you out. But they're very predatory. That a one fight deal doesn't sound that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It sounds like there's more to it than that. And that's why even I'm hearing that this isn't it. This isn't really a one fight deal. This is just one of the fights. The next one is going to be the major one or whatever the fuck, right? But that's what I'm hearing at least. So it seems.
The only way that would be true, Miguel, is if you don't see Zuffa attached to this. If it's only a freaking Ring Magazine Rehab season, Turkey's paying that bill, and maybe Zuffa does get him for a fight down the road. But if I see Zuffa behind it, then I got to think that they are connected. But maybe they won't be. Maybe he's going to put this on the Ring Magazine only, and pay that ridiculous amount.
Yes,
that means, and then that would mean the kid is going to make $30 million for 2 fights and not have a belt,
or have a Zuffa belt. Is that what it is?
Zuffa belt?
Zuffa belt? Why not? It's like, this is a championship. It's like, hey, Conor, can we give you like another cool couple of mil to have you say that this belt matters more than WBC belt or more than any other belt you've ever had? Yeah, sure, why not? Go ahead, add another zero to it. Yeah, this Zuffa belt, a lot more valuable than all your other sanctioning body belts. Oh my.
Yeah, oh my is right.
So this story in and of itself is going to bleed into another one. You briefly mentioned him. Frank Warren decides that you know what, these practices of one Ring or Zuffa or Sella TKO are not very lawful, guys, because apparently he's gone to the depths of suing Zuffa. I guess specifically, Dana White and his affiliated companies. Let me go ahead and read this here. TKO Sella, right, violated exclusivity agreements by secretly launching Zuffa Boxing without Frank Warren. Frank Warren is going to sue the shit out of these guys for $1 billion fucking dollars. Now, I've heard that Frank Warren's the kind of guy that would just sue anybody for any fucking reason. Sue somebody for saying shit to him. I think it was who was it? Eubanks. I think it was Eubanks Jr. or something for the shit that he said. Anyway, any random thing, the guy just like sue crazy. But this is a little bit different. This is $1 billion fucking dollars. I'm even hearing that Queensberry is in financial dire straits. Really, they themselves are kind of in a pickle. So he's trying to cash out before he pulls a plug or is out of there. When I read this, I was like, fucking hell, this is insane. It's not some chump change, Joe. We're not talking about $1 million, 3, 7, $12 million, $1 billion with a fucking B. I don't know how far this is gonna get, but I mean, if there's any what's the word? Any truth behind it, maybe he wins it. Maybe he wins it, or maybe he gets something out of it. Maybe he won't get $1 billion out of it, but maybe he gets something out of it. It seems as though we've talked about this, and you and I text about it. The promoters are just like the managers making the appointments now. Really, that seems to be where they're headed, at least Turkey and Zuffa and Dana. Like, all right, fuck these other guys. You don't need to deal with them, right? You have to talk to me. We've seen it before, as a matter of fact, with Shakur Stevenson, right? When he was next to Eddie and next to Turkey, right? And he's like, well, shit, I don't know. Like, you're like, no, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to Eddie. Wow. When you first read about this $1 billion lawsuit, Andrew, what's the first thing that came to mind when you fucking read this shit?
Seen it coming. It was a matter of time before these promoters start fighting back. They're watching some of the biggest fighters they have just leave, signing with this other company. If it's true that Conor Benn didn't even answer the phone call, kind of fucked up, right? Because that's one of those things where it could have been, hey, but what about this? And then the money on the other line goes, don't even answer the call. We'll take care of everything, right? Because they have lawyers and they have the money to keep you in court for a very long time. Also, Miguel, if you tie this story in with Frank Warren, look, I don't know where Frank Warren's promotional agreement starts and ends with Tyson, because I feel like Frank's been out of the picture for a while. But with that being said, I don't know the ins and outs of the deal. You know, sometimes these guys have a few fights left with the promoter, so that promoter still gets a percentage of the man's purse, even though he's not promoting the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Tyson moved on to Top Rank, but still had an agreement with Queensberry to either he was under a multi-fight deal that he couldn't get out of, so he's just giving him a percentage of every check that he makes, or Queensberry does the promotional side for the 90-year-old Bob Arum and does all the promotional side for Tyson in the UK that we don't know about. Maybe when Tyson's fights are being promoted, Top Rank's doing over here and Queensberry's doing over there. So he is still working for Tyson in a way. We're just not seeing it as much. Whatever the case is, what Dana White announced last week about possibly putting Tyson Fury in the octagon in the UFC is every bit of reason why they're trying to sue Zuffa to get back in this deal. It would be my understanding of why Frank Warren's so worried about, is he out or is he in? The money that fight's going to generate would have retired Frank Warren. You know what I'm saying? So Frank Warren might be seeing a bigger fish coming down and wants to nip this thing in the butt now about where he's at, or you either give me $1 billion now and I'll leave and let Tyson walk to you guys, or I'm in on the deal. That's what I'm more. When I heard Dana White announce that, when Dana White came out and said he's ready to do that fight, I believe it's after that Frank Warren brings the lawsuit out.
Let me read the description here that I found when I pulled it up. The claim alleges that Sella and TKO bypassed an existing partnership, breaching contractual agreements to launch Zuffa Boxing. Now, this is saying to launch Zuffa Boxing, so I'm not sure what exactly they're talking about there. I thought this is specifically has to do with Tyson Fury, but maybe it's not, right? Maybe he was supposed to be in on it as well. I guess Frank Warren's supposed to be in Zuffa Boxing.
If you remember a few weeks ago, we talked about when we looked at Turkey's last photo, it was missing all of the promoters. that big photo that he's done twice now. In the very first one, Queensberry's there, Golden Boy's there,
Eddie's there,
Eddie Hearn's there. You see all the promoters are there. At that time, I think all the promoters have this understanding that Turkey's working with them to buy the biggest fights in boxing, to bring them to Riyadh, to make Riyadh a tourist attraction. Then when Eddie got when Turkey got everybody's phone numbers from managers, fighters. Oh, he had his guys walking around those parties going, "Hey man, Turkey likes you. He wants to bring you out here. What's your number?" Started making his call list longer and longer. I think that's when they went behind closed doors with Dana, made this Zuffa thing, and started trying to talk to these fighters individually on their own. I don't remember. We talked about we don't know what the laws are out there. Is it against the law for someone just to call a fighter that's under contract? And even if it is, who are you going to go to? The king? You're going to go report to him? Right?
Right.
I mean,
no, yeah. The guy that signs the checks.
This is the game they play out there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a fox in the hen house from the very beginning. We mentioned it, Miguel. We talked about, I don't know if the boxing guys want to do this. They did it. Now the promoters seem to be getting blackballed out of it. I mean, Oscar's losing Virgil Ortiz. Hopefully they work some deal out. But I mean, look at what they were strong-arming him on that one. You know what I mean? Just fucking do one fight, come back, we'll give you boots under us only. That's what's being talked about there. It's not, oh, let's share the money with everyone. They're starting to say, why do you have to share the money with that guy? Right? We're going to do all the work for you.
Yeah, what is he doing? What is he doing exactly? Like for you to give him a piece of the pie?
And seriously, I mean, Oscar, I would have a video running of you in your underwear behind me as I'm talking to your fighters too. I'm dead serious, Miguel. This is the clown you have. This is the guy, right? All those video posts would just be playing, having your guy just look like, I fucking hate this dude. Yeah, man, fuck that guy.
Or him looking crazy ringside for one of the recent fights with him and his girlfriend sniffing their fucking noses, taking a step, like, okay, hello, can you not be in front of the fucking camera while you do your shenanigans, please? Like, I'm sure we all very much aware that you do these things. Can you at least not be in front of the camera while you do those things?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was for Barrios and I think Barrios and Ryan.
Yeah, the undercard.
Yeah. So it says, I'm reading more about this. Warren is seeking up to $1 billion in damages for lost income, arguing that exclusive agreements with Sella and TKO were violated. The trigger, the lawsuit stems from the creation of Zuffa Boxing, a new promotion supported by Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority and TKO, which Warren claims cut him out of the deal. Response that Stella has denied the claims, calling them unfounded and stating that they will fully vindicate our position, or their position, of course.
Well,
I don't know how much he plans to, or how much he's going to get out of it. I don't know if he's going to get up to $1 billion, but I'm sure he's going to get something out of it if any of this is true, because I mean, agreements are in place, right? Like you said, I don't know how things are over there, but it's got to count for something.
Well, if their agreement in the very beginning was nothing but handshakes, because look, I don't think Turkey's a stupid man. I think he was promising these guys, oh man, you guys have made these great fights. All I want to do is purchase them. So you give me a price and I'll give you a fight, right? And they got him with the Bivol better be, right? Two promoters are like, give us 20 million for that. Okay, I'll do it. They're like, oh shit, we got this guy. Oh buddy. Right? They probably all thought they were all fucking about to be rich. Start throwing them all their names and all their phone numbers. And that's where they fucked up.
Is it too late to correct course? Is it too late? Like, are these guys, I'm talking about the promoters, Oscar, Eddie, Frank here, are they out the door? Like, is it too late? Is the locomotive going so much right now that it's like, fuck, we can't hold the brakes on them, they're out the door anyway, bye? Or is this lawsuit, I mean, because this lawsuit, I'm not sure if it's necessary for everybody because it's Frank Warren, right? But I don't know if it's necessarily everybody else, Oscar and Eddie per se, but
Don King,
does this correct this somehow?
Don King is now suing them. I don't know if you got the news.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying you got to add his name.
What was that for Michael Hunter?
There you go. Yes,
right?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yep. Probably some guy that they're signing. You know what I mean? I'm sure Michael Hunter's probably going to be under Zuffa soon, and Don King's like, fuck you, he's under me still, and who knows how that one ends. But yeah, we do have Don King with his last fighter left on Earth is now in a lawsuit over him.
Yeah. I still get Don King emails every so often.
I wonder if he has a Christmas party for Hunter. You know, it's only him. You know, it's only Don and Michael at the Don King Productions building, bro.
It's
That's
it's
his
it's
house.
Chavez too. It's Chavez Senior too. It's like, oh, good buddy, I love you. I love you, Don King. I love you. You're the best, Don King. Yeah, sure. And Chavez Jr. While we're at it.
I mean, he has sort of an argument now that he can say if Tyson Fury signs with him, you know what I mean? If Conor Benn did sign, so something went wrong. They let him in. They acted like they were gonna play ball. Then they made their own company and started trying to steal all the assets from the other guys. You know,
oh, go ahead.
is it illegal? I don't know, because you know what's gonna suck. This is, I guess I should stop bouncing around so much. What I was gonna say is, if it was just handshakes, man, then Frank Warren doesn't have a leg to stand on, right? He
If
took
it's
the
just
bait.
napkins, writing agreements on napkins, that's not how it works on me.
That's right. He let you guys let him in on handshakes, on promises. He then got all your fighters' numbers, started calling them on their own, working side deals with them. You guys allowed all that to happen right under your noses. And if it is illegal, I mean, maybe they can put some kind, maybe whatever court finds him guilty, they won't be able to do a fight in that area until he pays Frank Warren. It might be some kind of penalty like that where, yeah, we can't go to Riyadh and get the. Okay, don't answer. Okay. We can't go to Riyadh and get them, but we can lock them out, right? We'll put a hold on. They can't do fights here in the UK. If it's America that, you know, Golden Boy gets a lawsuit that they're not, maybe they can't do fights in America until they get it back here. Something like that. I just don't know how the penalty phase works when you're talking about another country, right? Definitely think
it's
there's
not too late, huh?
I definitely think there's a lot on the world's plate right now where I don't see them going over there and forcing anything on Turkey and them right now. Can I get back to you later, please?
Right. Let's put a pause on this real fast, and then we'll get back to it in a few months. So it's not too late then. I mean, it's not too late, but they're going to continue marching. They're going to continue doing the thing. I guess kind of.
I got a good one for that. Is it too late, Miguel? Is it too late? All right. Remember last week that I said this was a blind date that Benn was taking with Zuffa? His real relationship is Eddie Hearn. He's now cheating on Eddie and doing a blind date with some mistress, right? Eddie Hearn has to let Conor Benn go over there and go on that date. Most likely, they're going to have sex. In this day and age, Miguel, most dates end up with the two people having sex, right?
Yes.
The question is, can Eddie take his girlfriend back after she's already slept with the other company and it still be a good relationship on their side? Now, in real life, what I'm talking about, it really never works out, right? You never take the girl back and was like, hey, did you have a good time? You got to be kind of weird in the head to take that kind of situation.
You're going to have a really, very low self-esteem, which Eddie has gone as far as to say he will clean his shoes if, so maybe he might
they do
like in that direction.
And I would say the only other thing that separates this from that type of scenario is they're all making money, right? They're not actually having sex. They're making money. So Eddie might take him back and go, yes, you are still my friend. I knew you'd make good money. You made good money? Now go make me money, you little whore. Right. You can throw one dig in there. Conor will turn around. What'd you say? Nothing. I say nothing.
Yeah. Like, it was him back there. He said that? I don't know who said that. Like, no, that was your accent. Like, no, that wasn't mine. I swear.
So that's what they all got to do. All of them, unfortunately, got to let their guys go and dance around for a few nights, and then they'll come back and see if they like them or not. What do they say? You gotta the worst advice you could ever give your son. You gotta let them go, and if they love you, they'll come back. Get the fuck out of here. If that bitch has gotta go, she's gotta go. She ain't never coming back. The fuck out of here. That's the stupidest saying of all time, bro. Get out of here.
Yep, that's probably why a guy didn't make that up. It's probably a chick who made that fucking thing up. Chances are they're the ones who made it up, right? It's like to give your son is like, hey, look, if you love her, you let her go, and if she comes back, you let her go again because that means the other guy didn't want her, so you just let her go again. That's just how it is, homie.
Exactly.
At the end
Fuck
of the day.
that.
Oh
So
my gosh. So Eddie, if you're listening, don't take it back. If you saw what he did to you once, he doesn't respect you. He's gonna do it to you again.
yeah, no, you take him back and you call him a little whore when you sign him.
Yeah, low key. And it's like, Eddie, how come my contract says like Conor Little Whore Ben? What's this about? Like, I just don't just sign it, just sign it. Like he will be referred to from here on out in this contract as Little Whore. Like, oh, okay, thanks a lot, Eddie. Hey,
The relationship will never be the same. He's always going to be like, so was it better over there? Huh? Did Zufa do this for you? Huh? Look at what I made. Do you like your room? Do you like your room? I got this for you. It's never going to be the same, Conor. I'm telling you right now.
That great cloud will always be over that relationship. Like, was his bigger? Was his bigger? Is that why you went?
Yeah. Don't worry, Conor. You'll always have that in your back pocket. His was bigger.
Like, you son of a bitch, you ungrateful son of a bitch. But we'll see what transpires with this lawsuit here. I don't know. Everybody's saying that. I mean, from what I read, and it's funny. I actually saw this. I'm gonna pull it up here real quick on the fucking on the Ring Magazine Instagram page, which of course is owned by fucking Turkey, right? But let me go ahead and pull this up because this is funny as fucking. People called it out right off the bat because of the caption, and it's a picture of Frank Warren and Turkey. Rumors are circulating in the boxing world that Queensberry is in financial trouble without a continued business relationship with Sella and TKO. The loss of their relationship has influenced Queensberry's threat to sue Sella and TKO. Rumors indicate that their announcement to the media of legal action was timed before their Wardley versus Dubois press conference, which took place today for an event in which is struggling to sell tickets. Queensberry have not been promoting any Riyadh season fights since last November, and there are no plans for the two sides to work together in the future. All right. There have been intensified concerns among the stable within Queensberry when it was learned that they're not being used as a promotional entity for Tyson Fury's big UK comeback in April. Oh, okay. And this concern had led to a scenario where a number of their fighters are seeking other promoters. Turkey Al-Sheikh,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is the last paragraph. Turkey Al-Sheikh and Sella were made aware that the rumors of litigation were leaked from Queensberry, and this has created an unreparable rift due to Queensberry's cordial communications in the open and being volatile behind the scenes. This was posted on the Ring Magazine Instagram account, and of course, who runs Ring Magazine? We already know this.
Now, you said in the beginning, you said Queensberry hasn't promoted a fight under them for how long?
Let me see here. Queensberry has not been promoting any Riyadh season fights since last November, and there are no plans for the two sides to work together in the future. So since November, 4 months we're looking.
All right, that's not that long. But let me give you a list of Queensberry's stable, and you tell me the connection here. Starting off with Tyson Fury, still signed under Queensberry. Fabio Wardley comes in at number 2. Daniel Dubois comes in at number 3. Ajit Kabil comes in at number 4. Joseph Parker comes in at number 5. Moses Etuma comes in at number 6. Zhang, Chisora, Okoli. Bro, am I not naming like the whole undercard and main events of a lot of these ring fucking cards, bro? Like, what the fuck? Wardley's about to be fighting for them again soon. Isn't Wardley fighting? Who's Wardley fighting? Wardley just got signed to a big fight.
Yeah, the one which you mentioned, Dubois.
And then and Parker's fighting Wilder. Ajit just fought on there. Ajit just fought somebody on the Ring Magazine these are all Queensberry's guys. No wonder why he's pissed off. No wonder why he's trying to sue. He's losing his entire stable, bro.
Damn.
I mean, I hope that he's making money with some of these guys as they're fighting under the Ring Magazine or Zuffa. Anthony Yarde is under him. Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a lot of guys that already work with Turkey. I didn't know he had so many. I didn't know Queensberry was doing so good in the heavyweight division.
Well, I mean,
Not
the
only
heavyweight
does he have-
division is kind of, European at this point, but yeah.
No, exactly. But Tyson Fury's the cash cow. He was making serious money. But then Fabio Wardley's been on a few undercards making serious money. Daniel Dubois has been on a few cards making serious money.
So they said since November, from November to now, I mean, I don't know how many of them. Yes, I'm saying, but they haven't fought too much between November and now, right? Everything was prior to this.
Yes. What I think is happening is he's probably suing for what's gonna happen, and that's him losing every single one of these guys. Every single one of these guys might be going to Zuffa. And you guys, I'm not talking about the Zuffa title. I'm talking about Zuffa boxing promoter.
I totally thought you totally meant they were going after the most official championship in professional boxing.
750,000 a fight? Yeah, no. It's a lot of money. I mean, Queensberry got a lot of money. Heavyweights make good money, and he's got a few headliners here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of cash. I mean, maybe that's why we're that $1 billion. I mean, Chisora just sold out with not even with Wilder. The fight before that, where he fought the other veteran fighter from the UK,
Dillian White.
Dillian White. You remember that place was packed, dude.
Yeah.
These guys are both old. Queensberry made something on that gate.
Mm-hmm. And I think Joe Joyce, which is another English dude, fought Joe Joyce as well, and he beat him by decision.
Yep. And then Dubois makes good money. Yeah, no, Queensberry's got every right to be pissed off because they're losing a significant amount. He's not dealing with lightweights there. Those are heavyweights that make, $5 million probably a fight, if more, if not more. Yeah, no doubt. And then Parker's had how many title shots? Dubois had how many title shots? You know what I'm saying? Because those are
continues to get title shots.
Yeah, those are bigger money. That's where that $1 billion comes in. And I got to throw it in there. We all seen the report today this week that TKO put out that the WWE made more in revenue last year than the UFC. You got to give props that boxing wasn't on that list. I think it's because boxing's so separated, right? It's not one entity that owns it. But that $1 billion from Queensberry, that doesn't seem far-fetched when you look at the roster that they might be taking from him. A lot of those guys have made some serious cash in their careers, especially Tyson. That already has you in the hundreds of millions right there. And then you look at the Dubois has been in some serious fights. Parker's been in some serious fights where they were making some serious cash. You add all that up, plus the roster of the guys that he's probably. I haven't even went to the lower weight divisions that they're probably digging from. Yeah, no, boxing's in a good spot. I guess is what I wanted to say. Boxing's in a good spot. That is a serious heavyweight roster, and that's only one company. We haven't looked at Top Rank, not DAZN, but Matchroom, Golden Boy, and everyone else. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now I get the $1 billion. Let's say it that way.
All right, it makes a lot more sense now that it's for that much.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Well, anything else you want to add to that one before we move on to the next topic?
Nope. I like it.
All right. So this one's a bit of a weird one because it kind of and I'm not sure. I don't remember if we had announced this one before Wednesday or not, but apparently, if you ever watch the kid who went viral for saying apparently a gazillion times, we're going to get Oleksandr Usyk making a comeback to the ring May 23rd. Now, this one is going to be a weird one, right? Because if I can just pull it up here, his opponent is not somebody who's very who we're familiar with necessarily, but he's a kickboxer, I guess, right? Or I don't know if he's gonna go back to kickboxing afterwards, but if I can get this guy's named properly here, Rico Verhoeven, longtime Glory heavyweight kickboxing champion. So Glory is a very popular kickboxing promotion. So when you're Glory champion, it kind of means that you're something. So he's going to be fighting him the 23rd of May later this year at the Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. and it's going to be for the WBC Heavyweight Championship, which is going to be on the line. I believe it's going to be streamed on the Zone. Um, I don't know this one. I'm not sure where. Uh, and I don't. I'm not too familiar with this Rico dude, but again, he's a former champion, or maybe like still active champion in kickboxing. But it just seems one of those weird ass fucking fights. I don't. It seems very sideshow, freak show, circus type of fights. It's going to be a kickboxing. I mean, sorry, it's going to be a boxing fight, right? So it's not like that part is going to be the freak show part. It's the opponent per se. And on top of that, the odd venue, I guess, right? The location. Now, I got to be honest. There's always a soft spot in my heart for these out of arena events. I gotta be honest. There's something cool about watching Formula One, and then you see the fucking casinos in the background. That has always been tight. I've always thought that show was cool as hell. It's happened in wrestling as well. It happens in boxing, right? When they used to have the outdoor venue for Caesar's Palace. And so that's cool. I'm not gonna say it's not cool, right? It's very unique. And I mean, I've seen some like early like renderings of what the athletics, what the current Oakland athletics or Oakland A's when they're coming to Vegas, and what their stadium is going to look like. That area that's going to be kind of open wide, and you can see the casinos in the background. That looks kind of tight. I'm not going to say it doesn't. I always have a soft spot in my heart for stuff like that. This is going to be kind of whack. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's. I get it. It's going to be the pyramids in the back, and it might be kind of tight. It might actually look cool, the optics, but the the logistics of it seems so fucking crazy. It's very, Times Square-ish, right? The fight that took place in Times Square. It just seems such a fucking sideshow freak show type shit. But Andrew, when you first heard that Oleksandr Usyk is going to make a return to the ring later this year, and his opponent, which again, I don't know his opponent's boxing record, but apparently it's going to be for the WBC championship. It's going to, just step in there and fight for the WBC belt. I don't know how the fuck that's going to happen. But anyway, what did you think when you read this?
We got to make sure he's not the WBC kickboxing champ, because the WBC has a Thai champ. They might have a kickboxing belt too, where that's where they transitioned his ranking and ratings over to boxing, because they did do a vote on it in Thailand, I guess, at some convention this last week, and they all voted to pass him as a contender. So it would at least be cool if he had a WBC belt, because I guess the story is on the guy, he's been the champ for 10 years, which that's pretty big, right? In kickboxing to be, if it is the WBC champ for 10 years, makes the story a little bit cooler of why they're putting these two forces together in the ring. I totally agree.
I told you it wasn't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I didn't want to hear that. Damn it.
With a boxing record of 1-1, an MMA record of 1-1. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But yeah.
Well, no, I wonder if he tried both, had one win, then a loss, and was like, nope, he's gonna stick with kickboxing in both of them because he's 1-1.
Sorry. No, my bad. 1-0 with one knockout. The knockout.
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
meant to say. So it's one fight, one win, one knockout. That's what I meant to say. My bad.
Okay. Not bad. All right. No, that's not bad. But anyways, so he wasn't the WBC kickboxing champ?
Not that I see here. No.
All right.
I mean, he's the glory, right? And it's his kickboxing, his record in kickboxing is 66 victories, 21 by knockouts, 10 losses. And two of those losses by knockouts. Now, mind you, in kickboxing, in Muay Thai, it is another one, but this is specific kickboxing here, because there's slight rule differences. But anyway, the fights are shorter, right? They're kind of more towards like almost amateur boxing sort of kind of thing. The rules, at least, they can only take so many leg kicks for again, they can't do 12 round type shit. So the fights are shorter, which explains why he has so many fights.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, he doesn't seem powerful at all either, using both hands, arms, and kicks to knock your opponent out, to not have that many knockouts. He does. I guess what I'm trying to say is, in his photo, he looks a lot more powerful than his record is actually telling us. But with that being said, look, Miguel, when I first seen it, you want to know what I thought? They're gonna lose. That's a loss. Who's making money? How are they going to make money? The cost to put this thing up, the cost of televising it around the world. The price tag of Usyk to get him in the ring to do this, we're what, another 30 million in the hole before we even sell a ticket. And the last time I checked, Rehad wasn't really good at selling tickets. Is it just me, or does it always seem like it's a group of like 10 guys in the stands that are cheering and all the other seats behind them are either empty or everyone's just sitting down? I swear, I think he has like guys in the ring. He's like, all right, make some noise, camera's coming. And they all jump up.
This is your cue, and go.
Yeah, and they all go, they all jump up and act like they're having a great time, bro. I don't know. It just has that feeling sometimes when everyone else around them is either not there or they're just sitting down going, what are those guys doing? So we'll see, man. I like the backdrop. I think it'll look cool if it's done right. But the reason to have someone from the UK and this kickboxing guy, I don't know how many actually Middle Eastern casual boxing fans you're going to pull to this, because as of right now, it doesn't seem like the casual Middle Eastern, Saudi Arabian. I'm not trying to be, talking down on anyone. It just doesn't seem like their fan base is out there. Right? They brought Canelo out there. Did you see the fucking place packed up? No. And they had some of the best design, production going on. That set that they had. Remember the Aztec Stadium? The lights and everything. They've had concerts. They've given away cars. They've tried everything at Rehad. Yet when they do that pan out from the stadium, it does not look packed. It does not look like they've sold any tickets over there. So we'll see if this one sells. Add it to the list of, like you said, the New York thing, the San Francisco. We're gonna buy the Alcatraz. We're gonna put a fight on Alcatraz. This is another one of those. They got a lot of money, bro. They don't know what they're doing with it. I'm sorry. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm telling you, you guys. Look, I told Miguel this weekend. I'm starting to have like PBC vibes with this company, Zuffa, where it's just a dude that has a killer ton. Now he's got way more than 750 million. All right, I'll give him that. But it just seems like a guy that's got a lot of money. He's throwing shit, darts at the wall, making fights, thinking he's running shit. But what is the long game here? You know what I mean? Where, I don't know where the takeover starts, because what's going to happen, I think he's going to leave. We're talking about fight. Will the promoters pull out? I think they're going to get tied up so much in this big money, trying to put on these big events, these big, not only signing fighters at fucking $15 million a fight that don't even have a belt under their name, but then you're putting them in venues like Giza pyramids and shutting down fucking New York Times Square. Like, are you serious right now? You know how much money that costs to shut that thing down? They're not going to have money left for the big guy, the little fish. And I'm not talking about the fucking tough man contest going over there at Zuffa. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about your kids out of the Olympics, your guys coming out of that are coming out to get into the pros. They're going, no, I want a big contract now. I'm not working my way up to anything. These are the future kids. You know what I'm saying? The guys at Top Rank basically knows. How about that? Because they seem to get the cream of the crop out of the amateurs all the time. It seems to be Top Rank. I think those guys are still going to be signing with your Eddies, your Oscars, and your Bob Arams, because these are the ones that know how to pay these guys money. They know how to build their careers. So I think there's an avenue, and because they're way overpaying in Zuffa land right now, in boxing land, they're going to put a clamp on this soon, Miguel. Mark my words. I know they seem to have endless money, but I guarantee you, I think the Prince is going to tell Turkey enough is enough. I'm giving them one more year. If this year is nothing but red, and we don't see Zuffa's numbers go up in Paramount, and we don't see them get out of the fucking Apex and start putting on real shows, I think you're going to see the Prince have changed his feelings on Turkey and boxing.
So soon though, because like
yes.
The way they make it seem, at least it's the long game. It's a long game. It's several years. I don't think it's like within the first 2 years of them coming out. Because even when they came out, with as much money as they did have with the Fertitas and stuff like that, right back when Dana and the Fertitas got a hold of the UFC, for the first few years they lost money. They lost a lot of money from like 01 to like 05, 06. maybe like 05 roughly. But
I don't
they're
think they're
throwing
signing.
in. Huh?
I don't think they were signing at 15 million a fight though.
No, they weren't. I don't think they were signing 15 million for the whole fucking roster, quite frankly. But
And, and look at the guys they're trying to sign right now, dude. Tyson Fury, Stevenson, those names that I dropped. That Wardley guy, he's one fight away from. What did we just? I just called him the new. What did I? The new AJ or some shit like that. I described him as that's what they're working him up to be. They want him to be the next new big kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just bigger money, bro. There's a lot bigger money that these guys are putting on the line right now. And if it doesn't start paying off, I mean, how much red? Because, dude, we've been in the red for a year. We cannot say that all those fights that Ring put on in the very beginning were making anything, because they weren't. Canelo's fight in Riyadh didn't do shit. Terrence Crawford in LA didn't do shit. Bivol Better Beef didn't do shit. So these guys have been in the red. They've been in the red. Now I got to lean a little bit with Oscar, man, when he's saying that he's letting him borrow guys right now. He's giving guys one fight deal. That's not the long game. That's them trying to show they can do numbers right now. I just need the assets maybe, and I can turn this around. Maybe that's what he begged them. So he said, all right, I'll give you these two guys. Turn it around. Right? So we'll see. But with all their other branches that these guys are investing in, I don't think their patience is going to be long. I mean, they could put out one video game next year and make fucking $60 billion, dude. You think they're, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to start, seeing shit like that and go, you know what? I'm done with with your broken promises, because that's what boxing is a lot of the time. Even we know some of those contracts they never get what they say is on contract, because they never sell enough tickets. They never sell enough pay-per-views. There's a lot of broken promises here. Yes, every once in a while you get a Floyd, and every fucking once in a while you'll get a Floyd and Manny in the same division. I mean, how great was that for how many years that we had it? Two guys, same division, making 20 million each every time they step in the ring. Very unlikely in the sport of boxing, right, to happen too many times, where you have in the same division going up multiple divisions, staying with each other. So yeah, I think a lot of people seeing that situation was like, oh shit, boxing's where it has to be. We can make a lot of money there. We've seen guys come, invest, then they go away. I believe Turkey and them will be in the same boat if this thing does not turn around, and they're being foolish with the money right now. Conor Benn is a foolish signing. You can mark my words. Maybe it comes back to bite me in the ass, but right now it's a foolish signing, especially if they don't match him up good. He just took a defeat, and he took a defeat before that defeat. So this kid's nowhere near being undefeated. You know what I'm saying? He's not untouchable. If you don't match him up right, what if he takes a defeat his first time coming out the gate? Kind of blows you away on that second fight. Oh, like, hey, and the only thing that I'll give Prograis, just he's old, but he can box. You know what I mean? So just be careful. Don't overlook him. If I'm Benn, I'm looking at Prograis like he's the world champ. You can't lose this fight. You cannot lose this first fight. So don't overestimate him at all. Come in out there swinging. But bad investments. This Giza one, while it's going to look cool for us, and maybe it looks cool for the King, and maybe the King's like, that's what I always wanted. And he doesn't give a shit that it's 30 million in the hole and doesn't make one dime back. But soon, I got to think that they are. Soon, after this is going to be the second year of maybe only one fight that we can honestly say they got in the green with. It's going to be a long time of losing.
Do you think this fight here with Usyk kind of cheapens the WBC belt to any degree? The fact that there's a dude who's just going to come in, a kickboxing champ. I mean, obviously the guy's dangerous in the kickboxing ring, and he's got hands clearly to some degree. But does it take away from the I guess the legitimacy or the prestige of the WBC belt?
Yes, if I was a WBC, I would have made a special belt for this fight. I would have not sanctioned it. Miguel, what if Usyk trips and loses?
Right, or some like super fluke accidental head. Well, I mean, not a cut that's like, oh shit, he can't continue, whatever. Yeah.
What happens, bro? Are we really gonna have a guy who's 2-0-1 as our heavyweight champ of the world? That's weird. If I was WBC, I would have made a special combat belt, WBC combat belt. I don't know. Think of something. Get with Jake Paul. Think, maybe you want to make a WBC MMA belt. That's where he's fucking going. Now that they're dabbing in it, it's probably gonna grow, dude. If Netflix sees that thing makes money, they're gonna give Jake Paul more money to make more money. That's all that's gonna happen there. Until the kid fails at making Netflix money, they're gonna keep giving him money.
Yeah.
So if I'm the WBC, maybe you talk to Jake. Make a WBC MMA belt that you can transition into the kickboxing, boxing. It's an MMA fight, sort of. It's not in a cage, but it's bringing two combat sports together in a ring. Oh, but I guess they would have to let him kick.
Yeah, because
can't do
rules
that.
is
Gotta let him
strictly
cook.
boxing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it's like on top of that, he is the number one, heavyweight. He's the ring lineal champ.
It's
I don't know if
dumb.
that's gonna be on the fucking right, but it just seems like, can we just not have this like count on the record, please? No belts, no nothing. Just do a fucking exhibition, whatever. If that's all it's gonna be, that's the best way they can fucking do it. Because I mean, what if some bullshit happens? What if he gets caught for whatever degree? Because I mean, he's relatively small. I'm not sure. I haven't checked like their stats. So I'm not sure how big this dude is, but he looks big in the fucking photos. Yep. And if he comes in swinging, and mind you, if you ever watch any of these fights, these like glory fights, their hands are not great, so their defense isn't great, but they swing for the fucking fences. I suspect he's going to get caught, of course, because the sharper puncher is Usyk. But I mean, dude, he's got power. He can swing. He's a big motherfucker, right? And it's not like Usyk is a big heavyweight anyway.
Yeah, no, because of the rules, you can't make it anything else but a boxing title. You're right. There should be no title on the line for this one. Suleiman just getting money there. Dirty dog. So let's talk
put
about
somewhere.
Yeah, let's talk about the percentage.
Yeah. And like his opponent, you want one of these necklaces? You want one of these chains? Yeah, go ahead. Wear one of these during the press conference just for shits and giggles. All right. Well, speaking of, because you did briefly mention PBC, Zuffa recently released their signed athletes. They sent their whole. I mean, they showed up on one of their social media pages. They posted the roster, all the names that were on there. Right now, I'm hearing that the signing of Andy Ruiz isn't legitimate yet. I'm hearing left and right that is not actually true. It may just be a rumor. I thought it was signed officially to the point where I straight up said he's going to fight a Jogby on the first pay-per-view. I'm calling it now. But apparently nothing official yet because it's all just hearsay as I understand it. But I took a look at this, the list of people. I'm going through some of the names here to see if I recognize them. And some of them we've seen them fight before. So when I say recognize them, I don't mean that they fought on a Zuffa card before because obviously we kind of know them from there. But prior to that, right, Callum Walsh, Carlos Ocampo, right, we know those guys because they fought Charles Martin. We know those guys prior to Conor Benn is on here now. Let me see. Anybody else? Effie Ajagbi, right? Edwin De Los Santos. We're familiar with those guys, right? Let's see here. Anybody else right off the bat? Oh, well, obviously, Jose Valenzuela. Floyd Diaz. We're kind of familiar with him because again he's fought elsewhere. But Mark Magsayo, we're familiar with Mark Magsayo, right? We know who this guy is. Again, this kind of gives me PBC vibes because a lot of these guys were on BBC at some point, right? So it's it kind of gives that impression. Any other names here that pop up? No, I don't think so. At least not immediately. But yeah, it definitely gives PBC vibes when you read some of the names on here and this roster. Okay, let's see who comes out of this. But Andrew, when you pulled up the names, because I think you sent me the list of the roster, and any of those names kind of pop out at you, be like, oh, okay, well maybe this guy might be something, or maybe this guy might be something, anything like that.
No, but I don't keep up with some of the prospects like that. There might be someone out there that watches amateur boxing and the prospects a lot more than I do that could pull some names. But no, dude, wasn't too impressed with that list that they put out. Really not even impressed with the names that are on there that are supposed to be former champs. Ocampo really already had his shot many times. He really never turned into anything. Mosley Jr., another fighter, has had many opportunities in the boxing world, has really never produced anything as a run. What does Zuffa expect? Like all of a sudden these guys are going to rejuvenate their careers and become headline household names. It's weird. I guess they needed someone. I heard an MMA guy say something that was kind of along the lines that I've been saying for a while about how the UFC really never had to start from the bottom. And he was going through where Dana White, who he had on the roster, kind of what we did here, but on a much deeper level. The guy had a little bit more names that he threw out there that made it different. But we had the same argument. Then what he said that I didn't have that I really liked, he said for the first time, Dana White is Bellator. And I like that because that is what Dana White is. And I think
it's Bush Leagues. It's the Bush League. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And this list that they put out kind of guarantees that what that man said that day was true. This is the first time Dana White is not getting the cream of the crop. He has to build something up from the bottom. So Zuffa still looking for those numbers.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you guys would, at least tell us what he's doing with the 10 million that Turkey's giving him. But as of right now, they've only shown us numbers of one fight. It was 200,000. That's very, very low in this new age of platform that seems you put something on YouTube, you put something on Netflix. Hell, I got to think DAZN's doing more than 200,000 homes, even though DAZN, let me throw you under the bus too. You ain't putting your shit out there enough either. I would really like to see what you're bringing in subscription wise when you're putting these fights out there too. So let's just be Netflix. Netflix has no problem showing their hand. Let's all start being like Netflix. So yeah, that's all I got on that one, dude. I don't. Yeah.
The one name popped out here, and I'm not too familiar with him, but I'm hearing a lot of buzz. Robert Merriweather III. Apparently, he's pretty tight. I don't know if he has the star potential, or at least the potential to, or the charisma. I'm not familiar with him, but I hear his name a lot, at least in the circuit. So I suspect that might be one of the guys that they're going to put a lot of promotional oomph behind. But that's the only one that really kind of stuck out. But again, I can only follow so many of them, right? But that in one particular, I'm sort of familiar with because I hear his name a lot. And I'm like, all right, I think they're gonna put some push behind this guy.
Do you think there will ever be a moment where we think someone who's never won a title or fought for a title is gonna beat somebody that owns all three titles on the other side? Do you know how long it's going to be before we start believing in this roster that much?
Let me think about that. Sheesh. If we have a unified champ, sorry to throw him under the bus, like Barrios, let's say, maybe in those circumstances, again, he would have to still unify with the other champs. Yeah. But it seems like a stretch.
It does. It really does. Like, I'm thinking about the UFC, dude, and how UFC fans are kind of like sold on anything the UFC sells. That's number one. That's the guy, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a while before we have that kind of trust in Zuffa's ranking system.
If ever.
Yeah, especially because how it's starting, Opatai might be fighting for the title against who? Some guy who's ranked fucking 15th in the world is fighting for your number one spot. I scratched my head at the right time, huh? But you know what I'm saying? Like that's a bad foot to start off of. It's almost like you're almost telling us Opatai is number one in your ranking book, right? Who else could it be? It ain't the 15th ranked guy.
No.
If the unified champ is already fighting number 15, come on, dude, come on. So, anyways, it's shit like that, and then it's Conor Benn. I hope it isn't Regis Prograis that gets Conor Benn a title.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there's going to be no faith in that one.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a lot of growing to do, but I don't know. I like I said, I guess I should close it with, I thought that guy summed it up way better when he said Dana White's he's figuring out what it's like to be one of those lower MMA promotional companies trying
or
to.
at least the first time in a long time, because there was a point in the early days where Pride was looked upon at least as better, and the like even the heavyweight division, like our heavyweight, I don't say our, but like shit, I'm doing what you're doing. The UFC, the American side, guys like Tim Sylvia and Andre Arlovsky, who were okay, but compared to those guys, the Crow Cops and the Nogueras and the fucking Fedors, it was like no, there was no fucking competition. But anyway, but yeah, so the first time in a long time, and we're talking 20 some odd years now at this point. So yeah, the first time that he's looked at as the Bush League, as the B League, as like the minor league, not the top of the cream of the crop.
Yep.
All right. So this other one, this story here before we get to one more, I was going to get to a couple more, but there has been some talk of which again could be good news. Sounds like it's good news, at least for boxing. It looks like Top Rank might actually make their way back to ESPN. All right. From what I'm hearing or reading, it seems as though preliminary talks are positive. This one was kind of crazy because I wasn't sure what to think of it when I first heard this. But let me go ahead and read what I read here on Twitter or X. Executives with ties to the UFC at ESPN had allegedly influenced the deterioration of Top Rank's deal with ESPN. A source told Brunch Boxing, quote, Matt Kenny and Glenn Jacobs sabotaged the ESPN deal and then left to go to Paramount and Zuffa Boxing. With that pair gone, Top Rank, or put it here, oh shit, I X out of it. Top Rank and ESPN are looking to make amends and sign a new deal. Let me go ahead and read a little further into this. A source with firsthand knowledge of the situation told Brunch Boxing unequivocally that Matt Kenny, these guys, and Glenn Jacobs sabotaged the ESPN deal and then left to go to Paramount with them. In a move that raised eyebrows across the industry, Kenny left ESPN to join Paramount as vice president of programming for CBS Sports, and Jacobs made a similar jump. Their exits fueled speculation within both Top Rank and ESPN that their personal ambition may have influenced the deterioration of the boxing deal. So it seems as though these two guys who are now with Paramount and Zuffa Boxing somehow sabotaged the potential extension of the signing again of Top Rank on ESPN. And now that they're gone, it seems as though ESPN and Top Ranks are on better talking terms and could potentially hash out a new deal. Kind of crazy. I never heard this before. I did hear about potential or the potential of Top Rank heading back to ESPN, but any of this, I had no fucking idea until I read into it. I was like, who the fuck? I mean, I don't know who the fuck these guys are. But anyway, point is, it seems as though we're going to get Top Rank back on ESPN, which is awesome. I actually got rid of my ESPN Plus subscription because, I mean, there were no fights on there, right? There was no UFC, they're gone, and there was no Top Rank. I'm down to get it back again. Why not? And it's relatively inexpensive. But again, thanks to our our secret contributor, I might not. I don't know. But regardless, point is, it seems like we might get ESPN or Top Rank back on ESPN. When you heard this, Andrew, when you first heard of the possibility of it, maybe not necessarily the reason behind it, the possibility of it, what do you think? What do you think? What's going to happen here?
This will solidify that boxing's not dead. I swear to God, that was my first thought. DAZN with Saudi money, Paramount Plus, Netflix, and now ESPN. These are some pretty big companies that are investing in the boxing again, right? So we're clearly not dead. Somebody thinks that someone can make $1 here. So it's sad that those guys sabotaged the deal. I'm guessing that they did that because they needed to get out of their contracts with Top Rank. So with no TV contract in place, that probably voided their jobs. Right? Because what I'm guessing is if they would have got an extension, then they couldn't just back out of a contract maybe with Top Rank. Maybe that would have made them had to stay and fulfill. I don't know how the TV thing works, but why else would you sabotage a company's deal and then leave them if that wasn't the reason why you sabotaged it? You know what I'm saying? Because you wanted out. You didn't. They couldn't just walk away. Is what I'm guessing, Miguel. That's what I'm trying to get to. So fuck them. Paramount isn't even releasing your guys' numbers. So I hope whatever you plan on doing from what Top Rank teach you comes out soon, because your numbers are shit right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't,
Yeah.
bro. They're not even announcing this shit. Like, dude, you know what, Miguel? I thought UFC going to Paramount was gonna fucking end the discussion about how much the UFC is taking over on combat sports here in America. 108 million views on Netflix. I was expecting the same. That's for Mike Tyson and fucking a YouTuber, dude.
Mhm.
You know, Canelo versus Crawford, 40 million. That's for a guy moving up 2-3 weight divisions to take on someone. This isn't Trinidad fucking De La Hoya. You don't have the whole world locked in yet. Oh, wait until you get Manny Pacquiao versus fucking Mayweather 2 on Netflix. Watch what those numbers are, bro.
Well, they couldn't put it on pay-per-view because I don't think anybody will fucking buy it. So they kind of had to go that direction.
No, I think Netflix is pay-per-view now. No, pay-per-view is dead. Pay-per-view, no one's doing pay-per-view. Pay-per-view hasn't been along here in a while. Pay-per-view turned into closed circuit purchases, really. That was for, let's put it on at a bar. We'll sell it to the bars. We'll sell it to the casinos. That's where they were making their money on pay-per-view here in the last maybe 10 years. It was not in homes anymore. Our numbers in the homes have been dropping for a while. Prices are going up. Too many pay-per-views. The coming out party of the UFC, them putting on pay-per-views every month. You know how many boxing fans that you had to really look at your cable bill? My family was one of them. We loved both sports when they first started, dude. My brother stood with MMA, but we both, in my mom's house, we both watched both. Hybrid, Shotokan, UFC, all that MMA shit. My brother bought all that shit that used to come out. But then when they started doing it like every month, you think my mom was pretty happy with seeing fucking $200 cable bills every, even though you give her the money, it got too expensive. And then when you missed one, you do the whole, hey mom, can I get you next week? So that shit comes to an end. So we had to pick. We had to choose, right? So that's what happened. So I think pay-per-view is never coming back. It's always going to the plat. Hey, our guy behind you, rest in peace, Lee Honest. He called it a long time ago that it was going to the streaming. Mm-hmm. He's been saying it for a while, right? And that's where it's going. But I love the fact that ESPN's getting back in. I love the fact that we got all this money in boxing. What we need to hope, though, is that we don't start running into contractual issues because of TV rights, right? Like, is Paramount going to work with Netflix? Are they both going to stream this fight? When Zuffa finally does get that one guy that can go up against most likely the guy on the other side that's going to be fighting for DAZN or be fighting for Netflix, are they going to come together and put the fight on both platforms? If so, how do they make that pay? You know what I mean? It's going to get trickier.
It seems unlikely. It seems unlikely.
Right?
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not possible because it's happened, right? It's happened with PBC and Matchroom and was it DAZN? They somehow, depending on your feed, of course, you get the different announcers, but with what's going on, and this is kind of a bit of a outside of the box story, but with what's going on with the acquisition of Warner Brothers, with the Netflix pulling out of the deal, and what looks like Paramount is going to come in and take over. I suspect that Paramount and Netflix might be on odds for a hot minute. I don't think we're going to get them playing nice with one another to make a boxing fight happen or anything like that. They're gonna be like, man, fuck your boxing fight. It's not gonna happen. It's one or the other. So it seems unlikely.
That's gonna suck for Paramount. Paramount is the one that is the small fish in this big pond here by like 280 million subscriptions. That's a lot of subscriptions.
I mean, right. But I mean, I in that sense, yes. But if they're going to come in and take over Warner Brothers that was going to go to Netflix, I don't think they're small fish in that sense. I think if they have the money to compete with, at least to some degree, Netflix, and Netflix having to pull out of the deal and then them going to Paramount, because there's Saudi money behind Paramount too. And
I know, but if you remember, Miguel, they pulled out of the UFC deal also. Netflix was bidding And then Paramount came in $6 billion over,
Yeah.
and Netflix said you can take it. They got 1 million subscriptions for doing that. That's nowhere near the 6 billion they needed. But we'll see how that plays out. But I'm telling you, right now Netflix is laughing at what happened in that situation. So we'll let time play out on how much they overbidded for the Warner Brothers. But their biggest things was Cartoon Network and DC Comics. DC Comics is cool. Maybe they make a TV series, bring back Batman, bring back the Joker. You know, they're going to try that route and do their little Paramount spin on it. Cartoon Network. I don't see that thing like bring. You know what I mean? What are you going to bring back Scooby-Doo? I don't know what that was going to bring. My whole thing is entertainment. Yes, Cartoon Network. You want kids to watch? That's entertainment. But what price was Paramount putting on it? Because they way overpriced themselves for the UFC deal. Right now, it is not paying out. Their coming out party has been terrible, dude, to be honest with you. Because it's not like the UFC. UFC is not Zuffa. They don't need time to grow. The UFC should have came out like motherfucking Jake Paul with their guns a-blazing. I'm sorry. That should have been 80 million. I know it can't be because they only have 20 million. Bro, it should have been damn near the whole
it's on a streaming service that not everybody had to begin with the way Netflix was, so they kind of already were struggling.
Yeah, but you would have thought the number would have been way bigger than 5 million. You know what I'm saying? When a dying sport did 108 with a fucking champion that was like 62 years old, dude. And he had bare ass in the locker room.
Right.
He didn't even lose viewerships on the bare ass, eh? But whatever. I still can't believe Mike did that. That dude, he was a fool that night. But whatever. You would have thought they would have been close to that. So, where was I going to go with that, darn it? It's just, they're playing behind the ball right now, dude. They're playing behind the ball. We'll see. The Warner Brothers signing, that's cool. I don't know the numbers behind it. If Netflix said, hey, we'll give you $1 billion, and Paramount was like, no, we'll do $7 billion. Well, of course they're going to win it. That don't mean shit, though. They're just spending money.
Netflix, from what I understand, Netflix pulled out. So it wasn't that they were outbid per se.
Oh, they were.
So I think.
That's why they pulled out. No, they were outbid. That's why they pulled out.
Well, because I thought like the deal was pretty much already done. Where Paramount was like, "No, we're not going to do this shit." So then Netflix was like, "Yeah, we'll take it." And then for whatever the fuck reason, which I haven't looked up yet, I thought they pulled out and said, "You know what? We're not going to do this shit after all." And then that leaves Warner Brothers. So Paramount's like, "Okay, fuck yeah." Then we'll go ahead and take them up. We'll go ahead and pick them up since you're going to bow out of the race.
What I read was they didn't match. They didn't match the deal again. They were both bidding for the.
So Paramount gave more, and then Netflix was like, "Yeah, we're not going to bid any further. Yes. You can take it." Okay.
Yeah. The same thing that happened with the UFC, and bro, it was like $5 billion they overbidded. Like, it's a crazy number. I don't know why Paramount did it, but I'm telling you, the subscriptions is so far over to the Netflix. It's almost like a do or die moment for them. It's almost like if we give them boxing and the UFC, we're done. At least in the sports section of combat sports. So they had to go after it. Well, maybe Warner Brothers is the same shit where they're like, dude, you're going to give them all of those networks, plus they already have 300 subscriptions on top of that. Like you're adding to their 300 when we only have 20 million. I think they have 30. I'm going to say 30 million because I think it's the high 20s. When we only have 30 million subscriptions, you're really going to allow a company that has 300 get more fucking platforms? Overpay. It's a do or die moment. They're throwing a Hail Mary. I'm telling you that fucking UFC deal is a straight Hail Mary, bro. I think the Zuffa knows that too. That's why they're like, hey, go invest this money somewhere else. These two motherfuckers are dumb. Did they really give $7 billion? Fucking dumb. Bro, they don't got one fighter on the I'm not even you going. Not gonna get into it. Hey, I hope the fight happens, dude. Tyson Fury versus Jon Jones. Fucking bring it, bro. Fucking bring it. You know what the gambling is going to be on that night, Miguel? You know what the fucking viewership numbers are going to be on that night? Oh, dude. Tyson, I want Tyson to be up for it. I know you didn't talk about it. I'm jumping into it. I don't give a shit. Dana White
Well, we
finally
touched on
saying,
it. Yeah, I finally said it. Let me read this here. This is what I read on. It says the MMA for you. That's the website. The idea of Tyson Fury versus Jon Jones and MMA fans fight has fans talking after Dana White confirmed the offer is on the table. A clash between a heavyweight boxing champion and one of the greatest mixed martial artist fighters of all time would be a true crossover spectacle. Fury's size, reach, and elite boxing skills would make him dangerous on the feet, but Jones' world-class grappling, fight IQ, and championship experience inside the octagon could be the deciding factors. It is a classic striker versus mixed martial arts matchup that combat sport has fans have been dreaming about. Nothing is signed yet, but with Dana White saying the opportunity is there, the possibility of Fury stepping into MMA against Jon Jones suddenly feels more real than ever. That's just the caption on here. But Dana White himself said, "Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's on the table. Yeah, it's something that we can actually get going." I mean that's it, right? That's their Hail Mary. No, I mean that's kind of their buzzer beater. That's kind of thing. It's like, let me go ahead and throw this fucking half court shot because $7 billion is a lot of asking of our fucking parent company.
Yes, I dude, it was that was a big moment for me when I seen that. I've been dying for this fight for a long time. This argument, because I've been solely a boxing guy and a majority MMA driven family fan base. Back in the day, even Lee, bro, used to poke me all the time with this MMA bullshit, bro. Like, they're coming, they're taking over. Manny will lose the Ronda. He used to just get me riled up, bro. Lee.
Right. Yeah.
So no, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I do know that means that the UFC, that one, I thought when Fertitta sold, kind of raised my eyebrow, because I know how investors work. Not like I'm broke as fuck, so I ain't doing good investing. But you hear about the rich guys when they sell. Most of the time, that means they already know what's coming, and they're trying to sell while they're on top, right? That's the old saying about that shit. That's all I got. So when I seen that, I was like, huh. Then when you started seeing the flopping around contract to contract, different platforms, not really finding a house. They bring out UFC Pass. They bring out their own website. Lee was all big on pushing that. That shit really didn't work. Never kicked off. Now we come to, and then the numbers from ESPN were never what they were when they were on their own. The numbers with Paramount are really not what they were when they were on their own. Now we come to Dana White saying he's ready to do the fight. He's ready to do the fight that answers all fucking questions, because it will. On this night, look.
Will it? Are you sure? I mean, like, look, it'll answer better questions. I guess I'm saying this like. Look, hang on. So Tyson Fury, right? Not in his prime anymore. Still close to the top. Not in his prime. Neither is Jon Jones, right? But I mean, maybe Jon Jones has fewer miles on him, right? But it's like maybe a slightly newer, slightly younger version of fucking Couture and James Toney. Like, isn't that one of those? I mean, yeah, granted, it's a better version of that. I'm saying it's a better version of that. But these guys are not.
James Toney was the middleweight. Huh? What would Tyson Fury do to James fucking Toney, dog?
What do you mean?
What would he do to him in a ring? What would Tyson Fury do to James Toney?
Well, he'd fuck him up.
He would destroy him.
Yeah.
That was not a heavyweight fighter, bro.
Well, I mean,
it was not the
Couture, it's not like Couture was a big heavyweight anyway. I mean, Couture wasn't exactly. Well, he was. I mean, as far as like he fought at light heavyweight.
James Toney was not Randy Couture. I'm sorry, they were not the same. James Toney was not Randy Couture, not by a long stretch. James Toney beat John fucking Ruiz and Evander Holyfield. 2 guys. That's it. Randy Couture was a heavyweight champ for how long? You know what I mean? Like, they were not the same people. Tyson Fury has been the heavyweight champ for 10 years. He's been in the top 3 of the heavyweight division. Jon Jones has been described as the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. Let me tell you guys something. This happened before. The UFC just likes you to forget about it. It happened with Ronda fucking Rousey. And don't take my words. Go listen to Joe Rogan as that fight is being started. we've never seen this. The biggest thing that's ever happened. We've never had an undefeated boxing champ take on an undefeated MMA, or she might have had one loss, but it was boxing champ.
No, she was undefeated.
Oh,
Well, who are we talking about? Ronda?
Holly.
Ronda.
Holly.
Oh, Holly.
No,
Oh,
Holly.
yeah. No, she had already lost. Yeah, she had.
She had one. Yeah, so she had a loss, but she was a champ.
Yeah.
Just you guys go listen to the beginning. The UFC, they're ready. The UFC, they think Ronda's gonna do it. They're like, fuck it, let's pull the plug. She can beat Floyd fucking Mayweather. She can beat her. So she's gonna beat the fuck out of this girl. Yes, she is. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. They get her in the ring. They fucking trash Holly Holmes that whole walk-in. They give her some respect, but most of it, this is one-dimensional. This is MMA. We're gonna see tonight. We're gonna see tonight. We're gonna see Ronda Rousey. Bro, 6 minutes later, that girl, won't be mad. That girl's knocked the fuck out. That girl, her life has changed. She's never the same person. Do you understand that? They went from having a Superman to a fighter that was fucking broken. And if you look at Conor fucking McGregor, he hasn't been the same since they said his brain started bleeding after that Mayweather fight in damn self. And if you look at Ngannou, he hasn't been the same since his brain started bleeding after the AJ fight. So I'm sorry, we have a history of guys trying to fight the big ones in our sport, and they leave with bleeding fucking brains. And I hate to sound that bad, savage, but it's the truth. None of those people got through that without brain damage, all right? This is what happens when you fight the elite strikers of the world, the best of the best. I've kept telling you guys that. You guys won't listen. That's why I'm happy that they're finally going to pull the trigger on this fight. And I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised when Tyson Fury's jab knocks Jon Jones the fuck out, okay? I'm not talking a right hand. You really think Tyson Fury is going to not throw jabs in this fight? The one punch that the MMA hates the jab. The MMA has a bunch of punches and a bunch of moves that they don't do because they know there's like just this rule that it has to go a certain way. Dana White made it that way, striking on the heads for Thai guys, striking down in the downward position. They were doing a lot of things that were taking this away from Muay Thai fighters. I heard those Russian elite fighters. I forget what style they were bringing over here, but they were badass at a point where they were taking out hella wrestlers. Dana White put a stop to all that. Let's fucking do it. I'm sorry, Ronda Rousey, she was the fucking...
Well, let's not forget that literally in her next fight, Holly Holmes gets choked out.
Yes,
let's not forget that, right? So, and to her credit, she was winning the fight, but she got taken down and choked out. So, granted, on like the highest profile of fights,
you know what she said
when she won.
You know what Holly Holmes says? She stopped training like a fucking boxer and started training like an MMA person, and I totally believe her. They put her on this stupid ass fucking train. You've got to learn everything. Why? Why when I just knocked her the fuck out with boxing? Now do I have to learn fucking submissions and fucking chokeholds and, oh, you got to fight the fucking takedown? Why? It ruined her. Stick to boxing. Maybe learn not to get taken down a sprawl. Then you get the fuck up. That's all you got to learn, and keep it with these two hands. Because
how to get up. Because here's the thing. Yeah. Keep in mind when you say like this is all you got to learn. It's not something that's like this. It's even if you know how to defend a takedown, that doesn't mean you're gonna defend the takedown. You're still gonna get taken down to be able to get back up.
What I say to that, and I'm sorry, we're going back and forth a lot, Miguel, because this one makes me hot.
Hey, trust me, I myself have been there, but myself, especially the fact that I've had, I've grappled for a long time. I wrestled in high school, and I even had jiu-jitsu training on top of that. So I hear your side of it, and that's the reason I want to throw something on your end. Go ahead.
They are so impressed with the physique of a boxer in the MMA side. They did it this again with Ryan Garcia, the way he looked. Joe Rogan was on his show. Like, how do these athletes get to this? How do they make these kind of styles? These physiques, how they're chiseled. I don't believe Jon Jones can keep an in-shape Tyson Fury on the ground. I don't give a fuck if you leg lock him, do whatever the fuck you want.
No.
This man is 6'9". He runs 12 miles a day.
But it's the thing. He's not just going to try to keep. Listen. He's not going to just try to keep him on the ground. He's going to submit him. That's my point. He's going to take him down. And here's the thing. I know this isn't him, but Watch Jon Jones's last fight.
He's going to reach out and grab Tyson Fury. That's what you're saying.
No. Listen. Look, I know you're not going to want to watch it, but watch Couture and James Toney.
I know,
watch,
dude.
Wait, hold on. Listen. Watch how Couture shot in. Look at how low he got to make sure he doesn't get jabbed or doesn't get clipped coming in. He's not going to come in Frankenstein style. He's going to come in super fucking low. And I mean, that's what Couture did. So I suspect, this is just me speculating, that Jon Jones is going to do something similar. He's going to try to shoot in relatively low, so where he is where at least Tyson isn't able to catch him or reach him with anything super flush. That's my guess. And once he puts him on the ground, and once he puts him on the ground, in the attempt to get back up, he's going to leave his neck open and he's going to get guillotined. Watch, and here's the thing, watch Jon Jones's last fight. Watch how, and again, I'm not comparing what's his name, the guy who he beat Sirigan to Tyson Fury, but watch how he took him down.
It's weird
in the process of getting
Rousey,
back up.
One of the best grapplers of all time, judo throwers, whatever. Weird she couldn't do any of that.
This isn't Ronda Rousey.
Well, I haven't seen Jon Jones take a lot of shots. I'll tell you that.
I get that.
Show me the highlights of him taking shots.
He has, not by somebody like Tyson, but he's gotten his face busted.
And another thing is, I think you're underestimating the reflexes of a boxer. That's something all of you MMA guys have always done.
Even Tyson at this age, being hit by Wilder, I get that, but like, you don't think
all you need is a jump back. That's it. You see the shot coming, you step back. That's all you do. We've seen it done many times. This is why I always said, you guys, don't take Floyd down. How the fuck are you going to shoot on the man? You're shooting from 3 feet away. These guys,
dude, it's possible. It's possible. That's all I'm saying.
Please stop bringing up James Toney, who fucking couldn't keep his pants up that night. James Toney weighed more in that match than he did ever in a boxing ring. Did you hear me? He weighed more that night than he ever did in a boxing match.
And you think Tyson's not going to come in heavy? You don't think he's going to come in?
I don't. All right. I think Tyson comes in at the same weight he always does. That means he's 6'9". So him being 350 pounds is in great shape. Now, does he do all the roids and the fucking what do you call vitamins that you're supposed to get chiseled? No, he doesn't. But does that man fight 12 rounds for like the last 10 years? Yes, he does. Sure. Do you know how hard it is going to be to keep that man on the ground? He is 6'9".
I'm telling you, dude. I'm not. He's not gonna. Yes. Please. This has 9. Hey, look. This is the way it's gonna be. I'm telling you.
I know. He's gonna get on top of him and weigh him down.
No. He's gonna take him down, and in the process of Tyson getting back up, he's gonna leave something open that will allow Jones to catch him. That's what I'm saying. Even if he can't hold him down for that long a period, maybe he can, maybe he can't. But what I'm saying is, in the process of him getting,
when you look at the professional boxing record in the MMA, it is a winning fucking record. It is not a losing record. The chances of a boxer going into a cage and winning are higher than the opposite. So you just going, no, I know it's going to happen. You're lying, because right now the boxer has a winning record in the cage. He has it. There is no, I have all these examples of you guys losing. No, they have more wins than they have.
There are examples, but I'm saying they're just fewer. They're not elites, is my point.
Exactly.
Those guys
and
now
Jon Jones is going to fight a man who's 6'9" and knows distance. He knows distance. He is not a lazy fighter. He is not an old fighter. He doesn't have hearing aids. He doesn't have health problems like James Toney, who was blind in an eye, had 2 hearing aids, and was the heaviest he had ever competed for in a combat sport. That is a fucking joke. That is a joke. You remember Dana White said, "What the fuck?" when James Toney got on the fucking scale. And they had to move that fight up a division because he didn't even make whatever heavyweight division there was. Go Google the shit. They moved that fight because he came in so fat. And Dana White and James Toney looks at him and goes, "Oh, fuck, give a fuck." And then James Toney said after the fight, I made more money than anybody on this card. That was a total money grab for James Toney. He had well, I think Tyson Fury comes from a family that loves this shit. They love this fucking putting their name on the line. You give them these gypsies $200 million to throw down. I think he takes Jon Jones as serious as he takes Usyk. And I'm sorry, Jon Jones is not Usyk. You can give me the ground game.
No,
I mean all that. Their fucking stand-up is so fucking.
It is. I'm not saying it is, but don't underestimate everything else. I'm saying don't underestimate everything else. Don't underestimate the kicks. Don't underestimate the takedowns. That's all I'm saying. Don't underestimate everything else, because
I think
you're basing it off of what
I think the jab gets there from the 6'9" dude before a kick. I'm sorry. I think the jab gets there before that. The jab is going to knock that man into the fucking next week. Mark my words. He's going to be like, oh, all MMA guys, they don't come like this. They go,
no, and he won't either. He won't either, but he might not need to. He might not need to.
Damn.
He might not need to.
Eyes swollen. Hey, that was the way to end the show. Here we go.
Yeah, that one. This is going to be good. I hope they can make it happen, and I hope they make it happen before the end of 2026, because that would be.
I will never be on air again if we lose that night.
God, no, get out of here. It's a fight. Anything can happen.
Hey, I'm gonna do the show from under the table. Hey, you won't see me. I'll just be like, fuck.
I want you. No, I want you. Let's make a bet. You wear a UFC jersey on the next show of that shit that's happening. The way fucking Lee had you wear a fucking Chargers jersey at one time.
I think I'm sweating. Yeah.
All right.
Hell, man.
We got
working on. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe it opens to a new avenue for these guys to make money. Let's say it's a great night. It's a competitive night. I would not mind seeing more of it. I'm dead serious on that. I used to love the UFC when it was more about best of the best coming to a cage to prove their style was the elite, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I would love for more crossover fights like that to happen in the cage. And unless we start getting our asses kicked, then it's not good. But if it's competitive, hey, dude, just another avenue, another Saturday night, we get to watch more fighting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in.
Yeah. Take my money now. Give me that fucking, that part. Take my money now. I'll pay for that one.
If Zupa TKO is listening, we're all in. We're all in.
All righty. Okay. So we're going to end the show on that note. We probably won't sleep now after this one for the next few hours. But Andrew, anything else you want to add to this before we call it a show?
No, great show, dude.
All right, fantastic. So that is going to do it for us here. We will be back soon, Wednesday most likely. But it just so happens that Wednesday is my birthday, so we'll figure out how we're going to work around that. So we'll figure something out. Don't worry about it. We will see you guys.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, sir, very much. We will definitely be back with some sort of midweek show. But until then, for my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapachet, this is Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys later this week. Take care. Peace.